Hola, Yuppie, everybody. Hoppa. Ah, there we go. Now it loaded. Hola, Yuppie, everybody. Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Hello, Yuppie. Immediately with the Nif. Yes, this is the perfect greeting. Let's go. This is the ideal greeting. Hello, Yuppie, with a knife. So I hope everyone is doing well tonight. We're continuing some Umineko tonight. And to short recap from last stream, Eva found the gold and the money broke her, I guess. She isn't feeling well, but she is now trying to hatch a plan with Rosa on keeping the gold, and it might be implied that Eva might become inclined to keep the gold just for herself. Also, she became a witch, and Beato passed her title over to Eva. So now we have EVATrice, and it looks like Rosa and Maria are going to be the next sacrifices for the second Twilight. So without further ado, let's continue. Hello HK, how you doing? Alright. There was no way that Battler's voiceless scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately, the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate. Because maybe, if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa might have hesitated to go outside. Oi, Yuppie, tudo bem? Oi, tudo bem? Sim, eu tô bem. E você? Oh, they found the rose. Okay. Maria found her rose with the gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted the promise under the condition that Maria would only get one look at it, but she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on. So she decided to go along with Maria until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, but on the off chance that she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. After glancing at Maria's innocent happiness, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Huh? Were her eyes just tired? Tenguahi! Yes. Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden. Uh-oh! I think we have our next victims. Gold-colored? It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes. Uh-oh. Oh no! Also, I just realized I forgot one light on. Wait. I'm trying to save electricity. And I forgot to turn off one of the lights at home. Alright. Uh-oh.
大丈夫だからこの手を離さないで
Don't take your magic hand away.
お願いだから離さないで
Eva was breathing wildly. Beds of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night, and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that this sudden fever was a sign of some serious illness. You know, like COVID? Several times Hideyoshi decided to call for a Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted firmly, pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away. The magic hand!
お昼になったら必ず南條先生に見てもらうんやで。
Yes.
それを約束できるならずっとここにいてお前の手を握ったるからな。こうしてギラだな。
ありがとう。
Man, Eva is not okay.
大丈夫よ。あなたの手の魔法で必ずこんな熱なんか下がっちゃうから。
Even as she said that, Eva's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. Definitely not, Corvid, I guess. Eva got, oh no.
離さないで。離さないで。
Yeah, I don't think a fever does that.
誰？
Eva's not okay. She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Rosa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the shadow of a person beyond the bush showed itself. Oh, woo?
エヴァおばさん。
What?
びっくりしたわ。
Excuse me, how are there two Evas at once?
姉さんなの？何かご用？さっきの話の続きなの？
What? When did you get here?
ええ、そうよ。
See, that sound cue is bad. Something is
お父
wrong.
様の黄金の話よ。お願いだからマリアの前では遠慮して、ちゃんと約束は守ってるわよ。姉さんの悪巧みの邪魔はしないわ。悪巧み？何それ？
Oh, she's speaking
姉
in
さんが
the
何を
witch
考えてい
voice.
ても勝手よ。
That's Eva Beatrice's voice.
私は邪魔する気なんてない。だからマリアの前では許して。私は分け前さえもらえれば十分なの。分け前？
Uh-oh. Eva started laughing in a creepy voice, and a very young, much younger voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then Maria said just one thing. Beatrice?
おばさん、誰？
Oh! She knew! Oh man.
分け前？誰がお前にやるものか。あれはすべて私のもの。
Welp.
この黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェのものよ。
Well, last episode she inherited the Beatrice name. This is happening at the same time.
エヴァ、大丈夫か？エヴァ、
No. She is far from
エ
okay.
ヴァ、エヴァ。
握っていて離さないで。私じゃない誰かに連れ去られないように。
I guess she's being possessed.
私の手を握っていて離さないで。
In today's Umineko episode, Eva is not okay. More at 11.
何も努力してない。いつも私たちの影に隠れてのらりくらり。いつも戦わずに影から影へと逃げ回っていたお前に、後ろ宮家の黄金を無心する資格など本当にあると思ってるの？
I mean, I don't blame her when all three siblings plus Kinzo were abusing her.
あれは全て私のもの。後ろ宮家当主にして新しき黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名を継承した私だけのもの。
ベアトリーチェ。ベアトリーチェだ。
What? I love that she's like, oh, that's Beato! Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high.
姉さんよね。
No?
姉さんなのよね。違うわ。私はもはやあなたの姉であった存在ではないの。
Mm-hmm. The money broke me!
あんた誰なのよ。ベアトリーチェだとでも言うの。そんなはずはない。あんたは19年前に死んだのよ。ええ、確かに死んでいたわ。だって私、あなたの頭が割れているところをはっきり見たもの。
Oh, she admits it.
その中身が溢れ出しているのを昨日のことのように思い出せる。
Ooh!
そのあんたがどうして生きてここにいるのよ。黄金の魔女に死の概念などないの。
She's like, I simply do not accept death.
黄金の魔女とベアトリーチェの名は永遠に受け継がれてゆくわ。お前が知っていたベアトリーチェは死を迎えたかもしれないが、今やそれは私の名である。故に無限、ベアトリーチェに死の概念はないの。
I see.
あの黄金に気が触れたとしか思えない。
That's probably the not magic explanation to it, that Eva was driven mad by the amount of
哀れ
gold.
ね、姉さん。もはや私はお前の姉ではないというのに。さて、新しきベアトリーチェとして自らの復活の儀式を引き継ぐわ。ロノウェ。
No!
私はどうすればいいの？
Help! No, I cannot do this now.
ご随意のままもはやベアトリーチェ様にはどのような思いも実現できる力がおありです。
He's like, do whatever you want.
少し扱えばなれるでしょう。
I'm not ready. oh god.
不甲斐なき元妹よ。私が魔女として初めて捧げる最初の生贄に選ばれたことを光栄に思うがいい。第2の番に寄り添う2人を私がこの手で引き裂く。
Forbidden S-word alert? I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? The first thing the new Beatrice wished for. No, the first magic she tried to use was to surpass the limitations given to humans, in particular gravity. She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into a witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stayed as they were, ground retreated all by itself into the distance below them. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. They went like whoop into the sky. Oh my god! They really went that high. Well, goodbye. My people need me. Rosa finally realized that the earth wasn't retreating into the distance below them, but that she and the witch were being sucked up into the rainy sky. Well. She's going to drop Rosa from there, isn't she? For a human shackled to the ground by gravity, there is nothing more unnerving than having their feet stop sticking to the ground. However, to Beatrice, who in becoming the new witch had learned the joy of being released from gravity, it was enough to make her whole body shake with delight. They're really flying, yes. Rosa's like, sure, me down.
私が本当の魔女になって叶えてあげたわ。やめてよ。夢なら覚めて。あなた言ったわ。夢の中で空を飛んだって。そして覚めたくなかったとも言ったわ。起こした私を恨んだともね。
Well.
安心して。今度は覚めないわよ。
Oh no. Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Then we both wish we could fly like seagulls in the sky and escape the cramped and boring island of Rokkenjima. Now I'll make that dream a reality for you. I only want to share this joy with you and no one else by dropping you from 60,000 feet from the sky. Well, I'm glad you're having fun.
見てごらんガンカを。私たちのお屋敷ってあんなにも小さいわ。あんな小さな場所で私たちはどれほどの長い時を過ごしたのかしら。その狭さとちっぽけさに今こそ本当に呆れるわ。
I mean...
だからこそ感じて楽しんで喜んで、私たちが憧れた大空を自由にする力を。さあ踊ろうよローザ。雨の中を、風の中を。
Is Mario just down there in the floor like, damn, mommy is flying?
私たちは踊るように飛び回ろう。稲光が私たちを照らして祝福してくれるわ。
Uh-oh, Rosa gonna fall down. Yeah, I think she's just gonna drop her from there. The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around in the whirlwind. As the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them, they shook with the joy of being released from the ground. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over. Oh well. Well, now she's gonna drop to her Rosa. Be careful what you wish for. A slightly displeased expression rose to the witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared. Uh-oh. Then she decided to listen to her former sister's requests. Uh-oh. Goodbye. The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance around grew weaker, then stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bound by the restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground upside down. No, she began to fall. Oh shit. Goodbye. Oh, she's going to actually lower Rosa. The witch hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting, but she still wasn't used to using magic. After plummeting about 100 meters into a rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. Oh, okay, so she just was like, oh well, oops! Ouch. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her, so she wished that Rosa hadn't died. So she respawns Rosa, probably. When she did, gold butterflies coiled around Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Rosa's body, which should have been spread out like a carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. The torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life, but no human can revive a lost life. By surpassing the irreversible, one proves that they have surpassed humanity. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position as a witch than flying through the sky had. That is specifically the power of Beatrice, if we recall, right? He just went up to the sky like, hello. I'm also here.
生かすことも殺すことも全ては無限に繰り返される。その輪廻を支配する女王こそが無限の魔女であられるベアトリーチェ様なのです。
金魚鉢を落としたことがあるわ。
A fishbowl.
涼しげな美しい鉢が割れてしまって二度と元に戻らなかった。床に叩きつけられた可愛いデメキンは二度と泳ぐ姿を見せてくれなかった。
What kind of fish was it?
私がいくら泣いても使用人たちは壊れたものと死んだものは蘇らせられないと首を横に振ったっけ。あの時学んだのよね。物は壊しちゃいけない、人は殺しちゃいけないって。だって直せないんだもん。
That's an interesting way to see it.
じゃあ直せるだろう。壊しても怒られないということでしょ。
Oh man, that's an interesting way to see it.
すごいすごいすごいすごい
She is having a good time, I guess. I too wish I could just take off into the sky and be like, capitalism no longer applies to me, I am leaving. For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the people she had inherited was. Her laugh was pure, innocent, and cruel. She said, did she say, ow, for real? Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of anguish at the pain from her fall. Okay, for a second I thought she reverted to like the ooh from Maria. At that point, the witch landed and held out her hand.
すまないわねローザ。空を飛ぶのがこんなに楽しいとは思わなかったわ。
I mean, yeah.
ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。そして人間がこんなにもろく死ぬとも知らなかったの。でも生き返らせてあげたからもう平気。
I lifted you off into a million feet into the sky, then I just dropped you, probably caused you the biggest scare of your life, gave you a fear of heights probably, and you probably will never be able to enter an airplane again, but it's okay, you didn't die.
だから起きて。私ともっと
You
遊び
didn't
ま
stay
しょう。
dead. I mean, what were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. Even drowning you in a sea of jelly! Even having you get sucked into a mountain of cake. I can even make you sprout butterfly wings and flit around the garden, okay? I'll do them one after another. Let's start with with the ocean of jelly, alright? Oh no! Aye! Rosa was once again thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, but with drops of orange juice. When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared, and the ground spread out beneath her like it was a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. Oh no! It was an ocean of jelly, like the one she had spoken from her dreams when she was young. That's gonna be painful. The black part was coffee jelly. The red was strawberry. The yellow was pineapple. And the green was melon. Oh, I thought she meant like jelly as in jellyfish, and I thought she was going to throw her all in them. Sorry. What was the white part? Apple? Did Rosa even have time to think stuff like that? Rosa fell towards that multicolored ocean. And then? And she sunk deep into a purple grape-flavored sea. It really was an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly ocean. They were probably made of grape skin. Then she sunk on and on, deeper and deeper, as deep as the Marianas Trench, crushed by the water pressure of the jelly ocean. As her ribs snapped, as her spine snapped. Oh god! In the end, she became a small, frail meatball. Ow, oh man, that's brutal.
ジェリーの海で溺れ死ねるなんて本当に素敵な体験よね。
I mean, I'm not sure.
誰にも真似できない夢、私が叶えてあげた。
The instant I snapped my fingers, the meatball that had been Rosa was launched up into the sky. And she became Rosa again. After being wrapped up in a golden sparkle, she returned to her original form. It was as simple and easy as returning dried seaweed to its original form, and anyone could do it. If they were a witch! That absent-minded look on Rosa's face has to be the joy from having that dream she gave up on as a child come true. Definitely. Probably. Next is the mountain of cake. Oh no, how are you going to die in cake? In an instant, the sky was covered and became black and white in the shape of a chessboard. A chessboard? That most transparent white part was her favorite rare cheesecake. The elegant black part was slightly bitter gâteau au chocolat. Sorry, I can't read French. That became the ceiling, became a mountain, and several billion cakes were thrown down towards Rosa. Oh, if you piled those cakes up, they would surely be taller than Mount Everest. Jesus wept. So they probably weighed. I'm not too sure, but I'll bet it was heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together. Only the cakes of Japan. I think even the whole cakes of the entire world would not be as heavy. It fell down like a ceiling and swallowed Rosa up. So as a very natural result, Rosa was crushed to death in less than a second. Her bones broke through her body and her insides were all smashed and forced out. Oh god, squished, popped and plopped. Even so, an even greater number of cakes piled up on top, and Rosa ended up as a layer of jam wedged between them. She became as thin as a single hair and was probably spread out over the area of a tennis court. Oh god. The world was followed up by cake, was once again absorbed by a golden flash. Maria is watching all of this. I'm thinking about this right now, and I'm like, Maria is standing there watching. Then, as though it had all been a dream, Rosa was revived once again. Of course, it definitely wasn't a dream. She had been revived after dying. By that point, death, which most humans only have to experience once after they are born, had already been experienced repeatedly by Rosa. In other words, she'd gone through that which humans cannot. The precious experience of dying more than once. That's 3 times now. No. Oh yes, I forgot. Murder is just playing. I understand. Laughing innocently, she pointed her gold staff at Rosa as she begged for mercy. When she did, Rosa glittered gold and rapidly began to shrink. Oh no. She shrank down to the size of a real butterfly. Then gold wings sprouted from her back, and she joined her fellow gold butterflies. However, while a human body could withstand that wind, it was a different metaphor for a butterfly's body. The gold butterfly Rosa was invited to dance by each gale of the wind, and she spun in circles around the gold rose garden. As her dance wore her out, she was caught by a gentle bed. It was a soft nick hammock in the shadows beneath the roof of the arbor. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcoming its rare guest who had wandered in on the night of the storm. Oh, she's gonna get eaten. That owner, which should have been small enough to crush in the palm of your hand, now looked as big as the top of a canopy bed to Rosa. It's a spider, isn't it? Oh, that's brutal. Jesus. Is she gonna start throwing pebbles at her? Oh my god. That's mean, but it sounds like something kids would do, I guess. Eva is having the time of her life. Okay, so they were all kids. I don't think she will help you, sadly. Oh dear, what's happening? I think she got eaten. Oh god.
あいつやるな。実に自由に魔法を使いこなす。
I'm really amused at the thought of Beatrice looking at all this and she's like, damn, that's good. How's Bator doing? He's not okay.
面白い面白い面白い面白い。バトラも笑えるだろ。
He's like, don't talk to me now.
ふざけんな。
Alright, Battler cry. Battler crime. He is crying. Chat, Battler's crying. Already.
もう止めろ。
I mean, it's pretty hard to watch, I
何が
guess.
楽しいんだよ。おかしい。てめえ
Again.
おかしいぞ。こんなことをして何が楽しいってんだ。
There's a lot of fun in
楽し
committing
そうじゃ
murder,
ないか
Battler.
よ。無理もない。魔法は楽しいもんな。
Yes.
思い出すよ。わらはもう魔法が使えるようになった時はすっごくはしゃいだもんさ。ああ、わかるぜわかるぜ。あのはしゃぎっぷりが心の底からわかるさ。
Yes, she does.
この
It's
喜
her
びや
B&B,
感動
her bread and butter.
バートラに
Murder
は
and
共感でき
tomato
ないんだろうな。ああ、残念残念。バトラだってわらわを認めればいつだって魔法を教えてやるぞ。
Battler, don't cry. I'm gonna teach you how to
人
murder.
間の束縛を逃れた瞬間の喜びは筆舌に尽くしがたい。そなたに教えてやりたいよ。あの喜び。そなたの生み出す魔法の世界もぜひ一度見てみたいものだ。
Everybody becomes a magician, I
楽
guess.
しくなってきただろう。魔法が使いたくなってきただろう。魔女もなかなかに楽しいものであるぞ。そなたには特別に教えてやる。一緒に空を飛ぶ喜びとか、一緒に海を潜る喜びとか。人間の制約を超えた瞬間に知る世界がどれほどに広かったのかという感動をそなたにも教えてやる。そしたら楽しいだろうな。
I kind of have the feeling if Battler became a magician or a witch, his world would be kinda a horny jail. There was no malice in Beato's expression. It was hard to believe, but she was genuinely enjoying this cool show. And she wanted to share that appreciation with Battler. Battler was shocked by that hopelessly different sense of values.
信じられね
And he's still crying.
え。もうやめろ。チクシャー。ワルキリア、このおかしな茶番を止めさせるんだ。
She's like, I can't do
ど
that,
うすりゃい
sorry.
いんだ。
私たちは番外の存在です。盤上には触れられません。
Yeah, well, that sucks. Virgilia shook her head apologetically. Her body had already been killed. Did that mean she couldn't interfere in any way? No, she can't. As Beatrice continued to look amused in an insane sort of way, Batter lifted her up by the collar and yelled at her, "Oh man, easy!"
やめろやめろやめろ。いい加減にしろ、魔女め。あれがエヴァおばさんだってのか。
Yes?
ありえない。俺の知ってるエヴァおばさんは確かに意地悪なとこも少しはあったけど、
A bit mean. Only a bit?
こんな残酷なことをする人じゃ断じてありえない。
Okay. That I can see,
全
but
てお前のまやかしだ。
I think she was broken by the
ローザお
gold.
ばさんをもてあそぶな。エヴァおばさんをもてあそぶな。今すぐこの茶番を止めさせろ。
Simply close your eyes then.
ローザと遊んでいるのはもうわらわではないというの。
She's like, well, it's not my fault.
新しきベアトリーチェだというに、そんなにギャーギャーわめくほどに残酷か。そなたもこういうの実は結構好きだろうが、実はちょっぴり魔法に興味を持ってきて。
Oh, what did he do?
何をする？
What did he do? For the first time, Beato slapped Beato's cheek. What? He slapped her? Damn. Beatrice didn't know he had done something like that to her. And a surprised expression rose to her face. Beato especially couldn't forgive that expression and he roared. Oh, he's... Oh, man! Oh, man! He's angry!
これが面白いだ。お前の頭はどうなってんだ。死ね。頭を輪切りにしててめえで覗いてみろ。絶対に中身がごっそり抜けてるぜ。
Whoa, Battler, chill.
今すぐやめさせろ。この悪趣味な茶番をやめさせるんだ。
Welp, I guess it runs in the family.
俺はお前を許さない。よくもこんな残酷なことを。お前のこと少しでも笑えるやつだと思ったこともあったが、俺はもう二度と勘違いしない。
You are too mean. I do not like you anymore.
お前はただ残酷なだけの怪物だ。俺の前に現れるな。二度とだ。お前を認めないお前と話さない。お前の顔など見たくもない。聞こえたか？
Jeez.
俺の前に現れるな。お前なんか消えてしまえ。
Man, he is seething. Man is seething. Oh, what happened? Oh, she had to use a shield. The instant Patra screamed, the power that resisted the witch became a red wall and knocked Beato back onto her butt.
なんだというのだ。面白い見物ではないかよ。
I mean, the way he's seething? She spoke defensively, but the target of those words, Patra, was no longer there. His figure had suddenly disappeared into the darkness. But Beatrice looked displeased and continued trying to explain herself.
そりゃ確かにちょっとあれかなとは思う。こんなの無邪気ないたずら程度であろう。どう殺そうが結局は生き返らせておるではないか。人間は終わりさえ良ければ何でも良い生き物ではなかったのか。
I mean, dying repeatedly isn't fun.
のうお師匠様、そこまでへそを曲げられるものでもある前に。
What's she gonna say? She's gonna be like, well... Ah, well, I accidentally hit skip, sorry. She was hoping for approval, but Virginia simply faced her with an indifferent expression. She's like, yeah. To Beato at the moment, even an exasperated look would probably have been better.
私から特に言うことはありません。あなたが楽しいと思うならいつまでも見続けていると良いでしょう。終わったら呼びなさい。それまで私も姿を消します。
She's like, I've already seen this more than enough times. Call me when it's over. I have better things to do. I gotta be a gamer. Following Batra's lead, Virgilia vanished into the darkness. Beato, who was now completely isolated and didn't have a clue what was going on, felt that they were making her out to be the bad guy. I mean... She's like, why? Why are they mad? I'm trying to make things fun and entertaining. What do you mean you don't like murder?
なんだよ。面白いショーじゃないかよ。
She's like, what do you mean you don't like watching people get killed repeatedly in front of their daughter?
ちょっとは悪趣味かもしれないけど、割と面白いじゃないかよ。なあ、ロノウェ。そこまで怒るほどじゃないよな。
I'm curious what you'll say. He's... Oh, he's having fun.
お嬢様の面白いがバトラ様にも面白いとは限りませんよ。
But is it interesting for you?
そんなにも嫌われとる。
Oh, she's sad. She's sad.
い
No.
や、確かに対戦相手だから敵同士ではあるが、座興笑い合いのほどわらわたちは不仲だというのか。バトラと一緒に拍手できたように一緒にゲラゲラ笑い合えると思ったのに、程度のことすらわらわは拒絶されるというのかよ。
Oh my god, I imagine Beatrice to be that fighting game player or like party game player who absolutely fucks over everyone else, like tilts them, and then they're like, "What do you mean it's not fun if I don't let you play at all? Why don't you laugh with me? What do you mean you don't like it when I do Virgil cross up in Marvel vs. 3? What do you mean? Isn't it fun?"
魔女だと認めぬのはいいさ。それを競い合うゲームなんだから。でもよ、顔も見ない、話も
Oh
しない。
no! Look at her! Oh, she's so
無
sad.
視はいくらなんでもないだろう。わらわはそんなにも嫌われ者なのかよ。
She's like, Rorobe, you don't understand. I want Beato to notice me. Why won't he notice me and like me?
これまでお嬢様は十分に嫌われるだけの指し手をいたしました。悪魔の私でさえバトラ様の気持ちが少しは分かろうというもの。
Oh wow, even he's like, yeah, I kinda get him.
それが理解できぬのはお嬢様が特に鈍感が過ぎるのではないかと。
He just says it straight. Like he's hired by her. He's like, yeah, you're kind of thick-headed.
うるさいうるさいうるさいうるさい。お前も消えてしまえ。
No.
はい、かしこまりました。それでは失礼いたします。
Yes. Now spawn into my room, please. Even Ronobe hid himself in the darkness, and Beatrice was left alone, the only one in the rainy rose garden. No one ever plays with a lonely witch, and the fact that no one ever does is what makes them a lonely witch.
なんでわらわと誰も遊んでこんなにわらわは変かよ。残酷。誰か返事しろよ。
Oh, she's so upset. No, Beato's upset.
楽しいねローザ、楽しいね。さあ次は何をして遊ぶ？もちろんマリアも一緒に遊んであげるわ。みんなで仲良くお散歩しよう。煮えたぎるチョコレートの鍋を泳いで、ケーキ膨らむオーブンの中をピクニックしよう。
Oh, an oven and a chocolate. Oh god, the things that came to mind.
No, 新しきベアトリーチェ。
She's like, listen, Butler now kinda hates me more. Can you stop? Please? Behind that, the witch that was continuing her mad banquet, Beato showed herself. The expression was very rare for her. It was somehow restrained, unreliable, miserable.
これは仙台ベアトリーチェ様、ご覧くださりましたか？魔法の力は本当に素晴らしい。魔女に生まれ変わることができたことを今ほど楽しいと思ったことはありません。まるでいつまでも終わらぬお遊戯の時間のよう。さあ、仙台様もご一緒に遊びましょう。
Now she's like, I can bully Rosa and my Rudolph as much as I want, and even Kraus.
その前にちょっとお待ちになってくださいね。二人はオーブンの中で焼け焦げて死んでしまったからまた蘇らさないと。
Oh, she's killing Mario too? No!
まるでイーストで膨れるパンみたいに。
No, not
オ
Mario!
ーブンの中で膨れるクッキーみたいに。
I mean, watching Rosa get killed too is also hard, but please, not Mario! Mario's too good for this.
話を聞けというのに。そのだな、第二の番の生贄にはもう十分であろう。確かに殺し方については指定がないが、それ以上もてあそぶことはあるまいに。
何をおっしゃいます、仙台様。さっきロノウェイから聞きましたよ。仙台様の魔法はもっともっと素敵で残酷でやりたい放題だったって。
Yes, but Battle was watching at the time. She's like,
6人のお腹からお菓子が溢れ出すハロウィンパーティーなんて本当に素敵。
you were part of that.
ならば私はアリスのお茶会を演出しようかしら。なんでもない日を祝うお茶会にみんなを招待して私が魔法で次々おもてなしするの。仙台 いに素敵にできるかしら。
I wonder.
個性的に
Oh,
残酷
this
に
is
ポップ
one
に
hell of
キュ
an
ートに
expression.
できるかしら。今思うとおとぎ話とかってどれも残酷でしたよね。
You are correct
そ
about
の
that.
おとぎ話の魔女に自らがなってみてようやく理解しました。
Fairy tales are indeed pretty fucked up if you think about it.
わらわも以前までは少しやりすぎたかなと少しは思っておるのだ。まあ黄金の魔女たるもの少しは気品があっても良いかと思うな。
Elegance?
先代様が何をおっしゃってるのかわかりません。
Just be straight, Beato.
でも一つだけわかります。今の私がどれほどを尽くしても先代様の残酷さには到底及びません。もっともっと頑張らなくちゃ。もっと残酷になって立派な黄金の魔女にならなくちゃ。
だからそれはもう十分だというに。とにかくわらわの先代としての命令だ。第二の番はもう十分だ。
She's like,
わらわが少し手本を見
wrap
せ
it
る。
up, wrap it up, enough.
下がって見ておれ。
Oh, how's she gonna do?
先代様、どんな無残で残酷でおぞましい殺し方を見せてくれるのか楽しみです。
The new witch crafts the sides of her skirt and gave a graceful bow, stepping back as an expectant gaze rose to her face. She was expecting an even more cruel magic that surpassed even herself.
まあそうだな。そういう殺し方しかできないうちは半人前なのだ。わらわが上品な黄金の魔女らしい殺し方を見せよう。
Oh, I want to see how you're gonna do it. When Beato waved her pipe, 7 colors of smoke poured out, reviving Rosa and Maria. Compared to how the new EVATrice had done in a short while ago, it was slightly gentler. It's probably gentler than how Beato had done it herself up until now. Rosa's consciousness had already grown dim from the pain of so many repeated deaths, but even so, she pleaded that her daughter be spared.
許して、せめてマリアだけでも許して。
Oh no! The way she just bullied Maria. Never forgive.
我が弟子が少し羽目を外しすぎたのだ。その許せ。
Oh, she runs over to Beatrice. Oh, poor baby. When Maria realized it was the real Beatrice, she jumped onto her.
ベアトは約束したよね。マリアを黄金島へ連れてってくれるって。約束ではママとも仲良しになれて、みんなずっと笑い合えるの。
Man, Maria's breaking my
連
heart.
れて行ってくれるって約束してくれたよね。
Now she's going to have to kill her right just there, like that.
その他な、その約束はもう。 碑文の謎を解く者が現れたから、わらわはもう黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェではないのだ。だからすまない。
No.
そなたとの約束はもう守れる。
This is so sad.
なんで、どうしてベアトは約束してくれた。
すまぬ。本当にすまぬ。だからせめて約束を守れなかった詫びに。
I'll give you a quiet sleep that will never be disturbed again. Beato embraced Maria with a loving expression on her face. Aww. Poor baby. Then softly a red bruise appeared on Maria's neck. It was a very gentle bruise. Aww. Its redness grew bit by bit, and when it distinctly formed itself into the shape of a hand, Maria's neck tilted suddenly, peacefully, as though she had fallen asleep. Oh no!
マリア。
No, and you had Rosa watch?
たが第二の番の生贄であることは謝らぬ。そういう運命なのだから。
Well,
しかしその捧げ方が悪趣味であったことは謝らねばならぬ。これが最後の
this is your final sleep.
もう二度と妨げられることは
Beato softly, gently lifted her finger, as though touching the empty air in front of her nose. When she did, a light breeze lifted up, making Rosa's body dance slightly like a feather. Then Rosa's body floated softly. And right there was the garden fence with its spear-shaped prongs. Did she just impale her? Oh. Sorry, ouch. Oh. The spear of defense pierced Rosa's medulla oblongata. Something. Benevolently, without toying with her, in a single blow, Rosa's life was snapped out. Compared to the earlier innocent yet cruel events, it seemed to be over much too fast. It just looked like a doll shaped like Rosa was leaning against the fence. But she had passed away. Oh man, that's rough. You're just gonna take Maria from me like this.
まあざっとこんなものよ。
Beato acted proudly, but the new witch wore a blank expression, almost as though this was an anticlimax. Then she said it out loud.
なんだか地味です。ロノウェイに聞いていた先代様のそれとは随分違います。
そのだな。魔法は上品に使わねばな。
She's like, not enough blood and guts, what the hell?
あまりその品がないのはエレガントではないのだ。
せっかく素敵なことが無限にできる魔法なのにつまらない。
Damn.
これ愚痴るでない。黄金の魔女の道は一日にしてならずだ。そなたとて第10の番を終えるまでは半人前よ。
Oh, let's see what
今は
happens.
黙ってわらわの指導に従うのだ。よいな。返事はどうした？返事は
Rest in heck, Maria and Rosa. I'm almost expecting Eva to be like, you know what? I'm going to overthrow you.
はーい。
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think Eva Beato is going to start rebelling and being like, I'm going to be the Golden Beatrice and it's only going to be me.
それで
You
よ
are going to be
それで
deleted.
まあまだ復活の儀式の先は長いぞ。あと5人も殺さねばならないからな。あまりもてあそばずにきれいに上品に。少しあっさりめでいいからな。ロノウェがそなたに教えたわらわのやり方はその悪い例だ。
Ronove is like, she's like, Ronove told you lies.
模範にして
Don't
は
be
なら
like
ぬ。
me.
よく心に刻んでおけ。
Please, Batter's appreciation for me is at stake.
はい、先代様。
Oh, she's not liking
良い
this.
返事だ。ロノウェ、煉獄の七姉妹よ。いでよ。
はい、お嬢様。ロノウへ、ここに。
Yes. Hello. I very much appreciate your
傲慢な
presence.
ルシファー、ここに。
これまではだな。そのわらわもいろいろ派手にやってきたわけだが、
But
まあ黄金の魔女としての威厳も大事であり、まあそのだな。
as Ronove laughed at Beato's uncharacteristically flustered speech, he summoned it up for her.
か
Summed it
し
up
こ
for
ま
her.
りました。以後は黄金の魔女の名にふさわしい気品に気をつけるようにいたします。
With more guts.
煉獄の七姉妹もこれまでのような悪ふざけは改め、以後は最短の手順で任務を遂行するように。ということでよろしいですか、お嬢様。
うん。つまりはそういうことだ。みんな肝に銘じよ。よいな。
Everybody, be nicer today. Just a little nicer. You can still kill them, but be
か
nice.
しこまりました。
わらわが言いたいのは以上だ。
Is it possible to kill someone but nicely.
もう引き上げてよいぞ。
かしこまりました。それでは。
I mean, you can just
失礼いたします。
as shown. I just find it funny. All right, everybody, it's time to murder this entire house, but do it nicely. Okay, no being meanies tonight. Tonight is me forbidden. Oh.
ま、わらわが言いたいのはそれだけだ。
She's like, I hate this. I want to cause
続
violence.
きしっかりな。
Don't you just want to go ape shit?
黄金の魔女らしく貫禄を持って頑張るがよいぞ。そなたを見守っておる。
Acting awkwardly until the very end, Beato left that message and immediately became a cloud of butterflies hiding her form in the empty air. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say she vanished in a hurry because she couldn't keep up the conversation. After that, all that remained was Maria's corpse lying down and pounded by the rain. Rosa's corpse propped up by the fence and staring up at the sky. And the figure of the witch.
自重しろ。
Her expression looked just a little bored. There was a popping sound. That was probably her clicking her tongue. She wants to go apeshit!
つまんないやつ。
Leaving that last sentence behind, she once again vanished into the empty air. And then? Feels like we're so close at the end. I think so. I think maybe in this stream and the next I should be able to finish chapter 3. But we still have several Twilights left, so, and the tea party and everything else, so let's see if I actually manage to finish it in 2 streams. I think 2 is realistic.
ようやく落ち着いてくれたようやな。
Your magic hand has finally taken effect. Hideyoshi wiped his own forehead. For a time, Eva had seemed to be having a very painful nightmare, but it appeared she'd finally fallen asleep. As promised, he still gripped Eva's hand. He thought it might be the time to let go pretty soon, but he faithfully continued to hold on. Every once in a while, his hand would get tired and he would switch between his right and his left. Sorry. But even so, as promised, he didn't let go of her hand. At that time, there was a heavy knock. Eva had finally been able to fall asleep, so Hideyoshi grimaced for just an instant. Uh-oh, you letting go of the hand is going to make her go apeshit. No, she's dead. It was Rudolph's voice. What could it be? Beato should speedrun this. I think he just tried to. Hideyoshi headed for the door, hiding his footsteps so that he wouldn't wake Eva. Or more like, he didn't speedrun this, he tried to rage quit. It was definitely Rudolph's voice, but just in case, he opened the door without removing the chain. And we float into the air like Nyum! Yeah, because they're, well, dead.
廊下で叱っとったの聞こえたで。その後静かになったからロビーに戻ったと思っとったんだが、ちゃうのか。
あのバカ。
Rudolph clicked his tongue. And Kraus comes out that shrunk with a tiny gun. Other people could be seen in the corridor. Rosa hadn't returned for a while after going out into the corridor. So they began to worry. Near the front door, Natsu pointed at the unset chain.
チェーンは開いてますし。
Well?
やっぱりバラを見に表へ行ったのでしょう。
鍵を開けっぱなして出ていくなど困ったやつだ。
それより今はローザさんとマリアちゃんの身が心配よ。
Yes, thank you, Kyrie.
だな。おいガキども、マリアちゃんのバラってのはどこにあったんだ？
In the rose garden.
確かあれはバラ庭園の真ん中の花壇だったと思います。
あの二人がそこにいるなら行けばすぐにわかるはずです。
親父、すぐに連れ戻した方がいいだろうぜ。
当たり前だ。二人とも連れ戻してお尻ペンペンしてやるぜ。
All of them?
俺が一っ走り行ってくる。俺が出たらすぐに鍵をしろよ。
Don't go out by yourself.
親父、俺も付き合うぜ。
Yes.
バカ抜かせ。
No.
ガキはママとお留守番って相場が決まってら。
But don't go out alone. Are you nuts?
どうしたの？何かあったの？
Yes, Eva, your other self just murdered for fun.
すまんな、起こしてしまったか。ローザさんがマリアちゃんを連れて表へ出たらしい。なんとも不用心なこっちゃ。
ローザとマリアちゃんが表へ？バラ邸へ？
そうや。ああ、聞こえとったか。マリアちゃんはバラが見たいと騒いどったからな。
She's like,
ダメよ。バラ邸に行っちゃダメ。ローザを呼び止めて。
呼び止めるもなんも、もうずいぶん前に出て行っとるようや。
well, Eva, it's too late.
全く不用心な話やで。
Your little witch went out and was like, I'm gonna kill for murder, gonna kill for fun.
バラ邸はダメ。あそこには魔女がいる。そして生贄を待ってる。
Uh-oh.
ローザ行っちゃダメ。
Eva cowered again, holding her head. Her complexion looked very bad.
どうしたんや。熱にうなされて何か悪い夢でも見たんか。
I think it was more than just a bad dream.
夢よね。バラ庭園で魔女がローザたちを。そうよね。夢よね。
Oh
落ち着く
no.
んや。この部屋にはわしもおる。チェーンもかかっとる。窓かて鎧戸が下ろしてあるし、銃まであるんや。
Don't worry, my love. If someone comes in, I will grab the gun.
この部屋はさながら要塞やで。
I will protect you with my magic hand and the magic gun. Hideyoshi beat his chest, trying to calm her, but Eva's insecure expression didn't change. Under the covers, Eva kept praying that the grotesque nightmare she just had was only a dream. I hate to break it to you, it was terrible. It's real. And there they are.
ルドルフがバラ庭園中央にてローザ、マリアの遺体を確認。その後ゲストハウスに戻って応援を呼び、両名をゲストハウスに運び込みました。南條の検視を信頼できるならば、ローザの死因は円髄部への柵の先端部分による死突。
What's a medulla oblongata though?
マリアについては素手による考察と考えられます。
Oh no.
ただし悪魔の証明により誤審率は否定できません。
Oh no.
わらわが赤にて語る。ローザとマリアは死亡した。死因は男女の見立て通り。雲にも食われておらんし、ケーキの山に潰されたわけでもない。安心せよ。
あれだけ死をもてあそび、死体が綺麗だからいいだろうって論法かよ。
Oops. No, imagine Beato's like, fucking, if you're not happy with this, then I'll just go apeshit.
俺は絶対に許さねえぞ。ローザおばさんに対する無残な仕打ちの数々、絶対に忘れねえし許さねえからな。
だからあれはわらわではないというに、奴の仕打ちに比べたらはるかに安らかな死を与えたはず。
うるさい、黙れ。
She's like, shut up, you killed people. Cool story.
お前とは口を聞かない。18人しか島にいないと言い切られ、すでに8人が死んでいる以上、容疑者は10人に絞られる。その中の誰かが殺したってんだろう。あるいは事故死かもな。マリアが発作的に泣きわめき、それを泣き止まそうとしたローザおばさんは力の加減を誤ってつい殺してしまったとか。
That would be very painful, but it's a possibility.
それで動転して滑って転んで柵に倒れて運悪く死んでしまった。
The other option is that the witch Eva that we saw was a representation of Eva, but at the same time that would mean that Eva does not have an alibi, but that doesn't make sense. So that sounds like the more plausible explanation as of now, even though it pains me deeply.
これで魔女も魔法も出番なしだ。
そういうわけではないぞ。実はだな、ローザとマリアは。
うるさい。お前とは口を聞かないと言っている。
Oh my god.
目障りだから消えろ、化け物。
Beato said that without rage, but with a horribly cold voice. That strange behavior was something Beato had noticed right off the bat. In a fight, both of them could go at each other without restraint. However, he wouldn't even step into the ring. She could feel that coldness. Beato didn't find that amusing. She thought about flaring up, but she held back. Maybe even though she was innocent and childish, she had enough sense to realize that she couldn't pick fights.
そうかよ。なら姿を消すと。どのへ。続きを引き継ぎ。
No, you made Beato upset.
かしこまりました。
Oh, Ronove is going to play chess for us now, though.
よろしいですか、バトラ様。
問題のない申し出です。バトラ君がベアトの顔を見たくないというなら、それもありかと。
好きにしろよ。その化け物の顔を見なくて済むなら、なんだって構わないぜ。
Oh, come on, Battler, don't be so mean.
なあ、ちょっと待てよ。さっきから化け物化け物と。わらわはひどい言われようではないか。なぜにわらわはそこまでバトラに毛嫌いされねばならぬというのか。あれらは全てわらわではなく、わらわの弟子の仕業であろうが。
別に俺はさっきのことだけで腹を立ててるわけじゃねえぜ。
Well, it culminated all to this.
一番最初からだ。
なあ、バトラ、誤解するなよ。わらわとそなたはゲームを通して対峙し合うプレイヤー同士なだけではないか。互いに相手を苦しめるために指し手を探るが。勘
違いするな。俺はお前が魔女を認める認めないのおかしなゲームのライバルだから嫌ってるんじゃない。
He's like, I hate you because you have a mean face.
お前の無意味に残酷なところがどうしても許せない。
そりゃあ連続殺人を通してのゲームだからな。多少は残酷になるのはやむを得まい。
さっきのことだけじゃない。前回だって前々回だって。
He's like, I'm not going to forget the time you made me out to be a footstool, put a collar on me, had me walk naked.
みんなの腹を裂いてお菓子を詰め込んだり、顔面を耕したり、それに何の意味があったってんだ。
それは、
密室殺人だの、トリックだの、アリバイだの、そこまでは100歩譲ってやる。お前は魔法殺人だと主張したいんだから。しかしあれらのグロテスクな殺人に一体どれほどの意味があるというのか。
I don't know, because it would be fun, I guess.
それはその別に。
She's like, damn it, Battler, it's just a spectacle. I just like gore.
そうさ、何の意味もない。お前はただ悪ふざけで死者を切り刻んで面白がっているだけだ。
Well,
それは魔女だからとか魔法じゃなきゃできないからとかそういうのじゃない。ただ
I mean,
お
he
前が
does have a
面
point,
白半
but
分に
she's trying to
残
have
酷の限り
fun.
を尽くしているだけなんだ。それはお前が魔女だからとかそういうことじゃない。ただただ人として許せないものがあるからだ。
なんだよその人としてってやつは。
She's like, but I'm not a human. What the hell are you trying to apply to
今回の
me?
ゲームの第1の番の6人。まあじい様の黒焦げはともかく他の5人の死体は不要に死者を恥ずかしめない。狂気が槍だか銃だかははっきりしないが、とにかく殺しの中じゃまだ許容できるマシなものだった。前回前々回の第1の番での非常識さ残酷さに比べればはるかにマシだった。そして今回の6つの密室をつなげた連鎖密室、まあまあ面白かったぜ。あれをお前とやりとりしてるときは今だから白状するが少しだけ楽しいと思った。
Just a little? I think you were having a good deal of fun.
自分の存在を認めさせようと必死になるお前とそれを否定しようと必死になる俺、どっちも必死で全力だ。おかしな話だが俺はお前との間にささやかなスポーツマンシップさえ感じたものさ。
Sportsmanship. Oh, okay.
俺とお前は相入れない存在だ。全く理解できない存在でもないかもしれないと わずかに思えた。だがその気持ちはついさっき微塵も残らずに吹き飛んだ。
だからそなたは誤解しておる。あれはわらわではなく。
違う、俺はそういう話をしてるんじゃない。お前はローザおばさんがひどい殺し方を何度も何度も繰り返されるのを見て
And you thought it was funny?
面白い見せ物だと嘲笑った。
But she's like, but it was funny.
俺は深く失望した。お前が今回少しはマシな殺し方を選んだのは何かのちょっとした気まぐれなんであって、本来の残酷な性分には何の変わりもないんだと分かって、深くそれどころかお前は残酷な死を純粋に楽しんでさえいる。俺に意地悪をするためだけに残酷を尽くしてるんじゃない。お前は本当に純粋に残酷を楽しんでいる。楽しめる性分なんだ。
Well, Battler, some people just like murder and the gore. It's to be like that.
何度も見
Not
事らし
shame.
く殺されているのを俺に楽しいだろうと言った。嫌味で言ったんじゃない。それを俺にも共感してほしくて楽しいだろうと言ったんだ。その瞬間俺は失望し悟った。お前が魔女だとかそうでないとか、俺はお前のその残酷さが許せない。そして理解できない。許すこともできない。だが魔女を認めるか否定するかというゲームは続ける。自ら降りて敗北を認めたりはしないさ。だがそのゲームにお前の無意味な残酷さは何の必要もない。だから俺はお前を対戦相手として認めないことにする。
Damn, he went a step higher. First it was deny her as a witch, deny her existence, and now she's like, I don't care, I'm not accepting you as my opponent. This is such fighting game talk. I love it.
お前のような残酷趣味は
Ronove is 100 times better? I'm sorry, that's not something I agree. I think they're both 100 times better.
あったとしても俺の前でそれをひけらかす悪趣味はない。
Are you sure about that?
そうさ、お前は悪趣味だ。残酷で心がなく。
He's like, Ronove is a real bro! Don't you understand?
相手として不快だ。だから俺はお前の顔を二度と見たくない。
As battle went on and on by himself, Beato was shocked into silence for a long time. Maybe she couldn't understand what she was being told, and this was a sign that she was doing all she could in an effort to understand. She's not okay. For a while, she kept switching between angry expression, frustrated expression, bold expressions, as though even she herself didn't know what attitude she should take. In the end, she made her face into a candid expression as though she had come to her senses, and shrugged her shoulders as though she was tired.
なら好きにすればよい。わらわは以後ロノウェを通してゲームを続けることにする。わらわが姿を見せないのであれば文句ないであろう。
とりあえずはな。だがお前の重ねてきた残酷な行為の数々を俺は絶対に許さない。だから絶対にお前を認めない。そのためにもお前に売られた喧嘩を俺から降りない。そして絶対に負けない。
I get the feeling this episode is one in which Beato is trying to open up to Battler because she shared something extremely intimate and possibly traumatic to him, which she brushed off and kinda made light of, which kinda is a shitty thing of him to do, but she's also like trying to connect with him in a way, right? Even though she's being kinda mean about it.
それだけだ。
ベアト、これ以上言い訳を重ねても彼の心象は変わりませんよ。
Yeah, you kinda went overboard, I guess.
後で
But
話があります。
that's what makes to me Beatrice such a great character. She's unapologetically mean. But I guess it's too mean for Battler, so I mean understandable. It's his family, but
わかった。それでは呼ばれるまで 姿を消している。
I'm sad. Beato looks so upset. No, I want her back. Looking lonely, Beato turned her back to them and vanished. Beato watched a slightly displeased expression on his face. He thought his argument had been valid, but for some reason his mood didn't clear up.
あいつはバカだろ。
そうですね。バカで素直です。
Are they all shit talking her now?
ローザおばさんが残酷に殺されるところを俺と見て、満面の笑みで振り返りやがった。あの残酷症も、本気で俺と笑い合えると信じてやがったんだ。俺とその感情を共有できると、本気で信じてやがった。あの無邪気な笑顔を見て、俺は最低な気持ちになったぜ。むしろこれまでのように、意地悪な面で言われた方がずっとマシだった。畜生。
God.
お嬢様は友達というものを持った試しのない方です。
Yes, thank you. Come to her defense.
それどころか、あれほど強く物を言われたことさえなかったでしょう。
Yeah, she probably never learned. I mean, she's a 1,000-year-old witch without a friend, right?
私もマダムも共に付き人。何を申し上げてもお耳には届きません。お嬢様にはこれも。
ふざけるな。俺はあいつの友達になった覚えはないぞ。
Nobody's asking you though. But it would be nice.
失礼いたしました。
一つだけあなたに感謝を。あの子のゲームを降りないでくれてありがとう。
Yes, keep playing chess. She spoke words of gratitude, but for some reason, Butler made a displeased face. Then, as though in self-derision, he chuckled.
魔女やら悪魔やらに礼を言われるようになっちゃ俺もおしまいだな。ゲームを再開しようぜ。もちろん手心を加えるつもりはないからな。
He feels dejected. I think.
望むところです。
I kind of want Beato to be here, but on the bright side, I'm gonna get to see Rorove playing chess.
お嬢様と違い、
I want this.
私は熱くはなりませんよ。
Unlike me, lady, I do not get agitated. I cannot wait for a Rorove chess.
ローザおばさんが犯人で
Excited.
事故死と仮定すれば魔女は否定できる。ローザおばさんを疑いたくはないが、ベアトをぶっ潰すために今はあえて
赤で否定を行います。ローザとマリアの二人は他殺です。
Homicides, I see.
よし、そこから始めようじゃねえか。くそ、盛り上がらねえぜ。
Let me go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. There, I'm back. Pog energy, yes. With Rosa's and Maria's death, it was now clear that the culprit was still hiding somewhere, trying to add even more murders to this chain. As he shed tears, Rudolph scolded Rosa's corpse for being reckless several times, but Rosa would never respond to that again. They decided to place the two corpses in one of the guest rooms and to seal it until the police arrived. The murder of the second Twilight had delivered a heavy blow to everyone. It had blown away the optimism that some of them had held, the thought that a crime didn't actually occur and that it was all a game or a farce by Kinzo and the servants. Trying to distract themselves from the loss of the people they liked, George and Jessica had spent the whole time since morning talking about every possibility. And they had distracted their hearts by supposing that these murders might actually have all been an act, and that Shannon and Kanon were only pretending to be dead. Them? When the next murder occurred, it destroyed that thought. And they were once again struck by the fact that the person they liked had most definitely been killed. The tears that they thought had died away began to drip down once more, and Battle couldn't think of anything to say to them. Poor boy is completely dejected right now. After that, all of the adults checked that all of the rooms were safe and locked just in case. They made certain that the shutters on all of the windows were down and locked, and they confirmed that no one suspicious was hiding anywhere. On top of that, they checked their weapons once again, and checked with each other to make sure they were mentally prepared so that they wouldn't hesitate to fire off a preemptive shot if they saw the shadow of a mysterious person. Rosa's gun had been found near the scene of the crime. Someone had gone out of their way to leave it there, so everyone suspected that it was some kind of trap. But when Hideyoshi delicately used the fire iron to fire off test shots, it was able to discharge without incident. Whoa! So since the 5 shots loaded into it had discharged without any problems, they reloaded it with bullets and handed it over to the only adult male who wasn't armed, Hideyoshi. However, the fact that it had been able to fire off 5 shots gave rise to certain paranoia. This shot barrel Winchester could only hold 5 shots. In other words, Rosa hadn't fired even once. And yet the two had probably been killed by someone with their bare hands. This meant that there was a possibility that the crime had been committed by someone whose face they knew. Why do I hear gunshots? They are trying out they are testing the Winchesters, like the guns.
私は内心、これが全て芝居である可能性を考えたの。南條先生には悪いけど、実は南條先生もグルで。
So my thought so far is that the culprit might be Eva after all, like in a non-magic version. The question is, how did she get out?
だって彼らの密室状況は彼らの自作自演を想定しない限り生み出せないのだもの。
僕たちもそれを疑いました。いえ。
Unless it was someone else after all.
そうであってほしいと信じてます。
申し訳ないが、それはありません。私も老いぼれです。誤信もあるかもしれない。しかし、生き死にを間違えるようなことは絶対にない。
Okay, so that's one of the devil's proof that's getting like this.
口に出すなよ、南條先生。
すみません。
They had no way of knowing, but Beato had already used the red to proclaim the death of the 6. So, no, the death of all victims so far in this game. That faint dream that was all a farce, that the victims were actually alive, I'm sorry to say it, but that's impossible.
屋敷に精通した何者かが潜んでいて、練りに練った犯行を実行したと考える方が自然だろうよ。つまり、島には台風が来て外界と途絶された時点で18人以上の人間がいたんだ。
Of course, there was no way for them to know about that either. That claim of Rudolph's has been denied and read. There are no more than 18 humans on this island.
こう考えると少しは辻褄が合うのかしら。つまり隠れ潜んでいる何者かは本来は今島にいるはずのない人物にもかかわらず、ローザさんが油断するような顔見知りの人物である可能性よ。
それは例えば、この2日間のシフトに当たっていない使用人などですか？
I don't think so. I think it was one of you, maybe.
それを言われると弱いな。我々は勤務を終えた彼らが離島するのを切符切りのように確認しているわけでは。
Okay, I see.
数日前のシフトの使用人が離島したふりをして島内に留まっていたかもしれないと仮定否定するのは難しいね。
Well, considering we only have 18 people, I don't think that's the case, but... It's not really... If it wasn't proclaimed in red that there's only 18 people here, then it could have been a possibility, but I think that's a little bit too idealistic anyhow.
いるはずのない使用人がひょっこり姿を現したら普通は警戒バリバリや。
Okay, he's right.
顔見知りの犯行と決めつけるのもどうかと思うわ。暗がりから突然ローザが襲われて銃を奪われそうになった。そしたらローザが転んで柵に頭を打ち動かなくなった。ゲストハウスが近かったので銃声を嫌い素手でマリアちゃんを殺した。
Oh, that makes me so sad to hear.
そうだとしてもだ。現場にわざわざローザの銃を残していくだろうか。犯人が何を武装しているか知らねえが、こちらの銃は不安要素のはずだ。その一丁をなびけるチャンスだったはずだぜ。なぜわざわざ現場に残したんだ。
Probably to cause confusion, I guess.
私は初めその銃を罠だと思ったの。チェス盤思考だとそうなる。わざわざ残した以上、私たちの誰かに手に取らせたい。そして引き金を引かせたいに違いない。てっきり暴発して大怪我を負わせるような危険な仕掛けがされてるに違いないと思ってたわ。
That's actually also an explanation to look at it,
でも
but
現に大
it
丈
was
夫や。
actually okay, yeah.
おそらく犯人も焦っとったんとちゃう
See,
か。
Yoshi with a gun is so strange.
今頃銃を
He's
奪う
like
チャンスを
the
逃したことを後
softest
悔し
man
てる
in
に
this
決まってる。
family, and yet, see him with a gun feels like a juxtaposition.
不愉快だな。自由なんか怖くもないっていう魔女のメッセージみたいでムカつくぜ。
Considering the first game, yeah.
しかしいずれにせよ恐ろしい相手ですね。ローザさんが銃を持っていることは傍目にも分かったはずにもかかわらず襲いかかるとは。銃を恐れないという点を私たちは軽視するべきではありません。
うん。夏日の言う通りだ。これまで以上に用心すべきだろ
う。念のためなんだけど、ローザさんたちが外に出たと思われる頃、みんなはどこにいたのかしら。
Eva was with Hideyoshi, allegedly.
私と夏日、そしてルドルフとキリエさんはここで一緒だった。
Yeah, they probably have a rock solid alibi.
私がアリバイを保証する。
わしとエヴァも一緒だったで。わしが保証するわ。
俺とジョージの兄貴ジェシカも一緒だったぜ。ローザおばさんに2階へ戻ってろと怒鳴られ、すごすごといとこ部屋へ引き返したさ。
あの時マリアを行かせなければ。
それを言ってももうどうしようもないよ。
Unfortunately.
南條先生は
私は2階の部屋で
Ah shit, he's the only one without an alibi, huh?
一人でおりましたので誰にもアリバイは証明できませんが、子供たちと一緒に2階へ戻ったのは皆さんも見ているはずです。
これを言い出したらキリがないが、窓から飛び降りてローザを襲って雨どいでもよじ登ってまた戻ってきた。
Well, then his coat should have been dirty, right?
めっそうもない。
Yeah.
やめましょう。それよりも互いを信頼し合って子供たちのためにもここの安全を死守することの方が先決です。
Yes, Natsu has this right.
そう、夏日さんの言う通りだ。今は内部を疑い合うのをやめよう。
そうね。犯人探しなんて私たちには無用かもしれないわ。ただ明日まで生き残り警察に通報してその指示に従うだけ。犯人が誰かなんて警察が必ず暴き出してくれるのだから。
I wonder what they'll do next, though.
どうしたんや、エヴァ。
Okay, this feels like a more normal Hideyoshi to me.
まだ体調が悪いとちゃうか。
Uh-oh. Eva is going apeshit again.
どうした？大丈夫？
ごめんなさい。まだ熱が高いみたいな
Oh
の。
shit.
大丈夫だから放っておいて。
When they looked, they saw Eva staring at the floor, her breathing harsh again. Uh-oh. The witch is coming out again. She had been able to act firm for a time due to the urgency of the situation, But it seemed her body wasn't at its best after all.
ええ、あの二人は私が殺した。これで黄金のことを知っているのは私たちだけ。他の兄弟たちにはかけら一つだって譲りはしないの。
Uh-oh, I think Eva is not going to take it
なんて
lightly.
ことを。あれだけの莫大な黄金なのよ。ローザたちに分け前をあげたって全く問題はなかったでしょうに。
あるわよ。あれは後宮家の当主だけが引き継げる黄金なの。
Uh-oh.
だからこそそれは全て丸ごと当主の栄誉そのものなの。
Well, we have our motive, greed.
それにわずかほどでも傷をつけることは、この私、新しき黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェが絶対に許さないわ。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, yeah. Motive is greed and thirst for power. Power hungerness.
あなたは魔女の碑文通りに殺人を続けるつもりなの？
Yes, Eva.
ま
Yes.
さかあと5人も人殺しを続けるつもりなの？
ええ、その面倒な儀式を終えないと私の魔女としての力は完全なものにならないらしいの。ねえ、私、この魔女の力は本当にすごいわ。私たちが妄想してきた全てが本当に実現できる。
She's like, oh my god, I can do so much, like killing people repeatedly.
この力を知ってしまったらもう魔女はやめられない。儀式を完全に終えて私の力が完全なものになれば、きっとそれを
Oh
あなた
no.
にも教えてあげられるわ。
Please don't kill Eva over and over.
バカなことはやめて。魔女ごっこはもう十分でしょ。私たちは黄金を見つけたわ。そして次期当主の座だって約束されてるわ。ほんの少しの綱渡りは必要だろうけど、もうそれは絶対に叶う夢なのに、これ以上あなたは何を望むというの？
She's like, everybody to die.
私は魔女になりたかったわ。
私そんな夢なんか知らないわよ。
そうよ。その夢を持ち続けてるから私はこの年のままで生きながらえているの。
Oh, okay.
あなたはその夢を大人になることで捨てたわ。
She's like, you became a boring adult. Go do your taxes, Grandma.
いくら待てども
Go
時
pay
計
your
を持ったウサギ
bills.
など訪れないし、ハンプティ・ダンプティにも会えはしない。
I'm sorry, Humpty
も
Dumpty?
ちろんトランプの国に招かれたりも絶対にない。あなたはそう諦めてしまったから大人になったのよ。
Yeah, it would be like that, though. It's the
だから
struggle.
もう魔女になりたいなんて思わない。
But you can be an adult and a witch.
それが本当の自分の
I
夢であ
am.
ったことも忘れてしまったの。
とにかくやめて。私はもう2つの夢を手に入れている。黄金と当主の座。それでもう十分なの。だからお願い、あんたの夢なんて知ったことじゃない。おとなしくしてて。
いやよ、魔法面白いもの。それにあなたの2つの夢は私の魔法のおかげで叶ったのよ。
Uh-oh.
なのに私の夢は叶えてはいけないなんて不公平よ。
I feel like I've seen something like this before. Wink, wink, honk, honk.
あなたの魔法には感謝してるし、あなたこそが本当の魔女だ
We
と
have
私は
a
認め
pretty
てる
big
わ。
internal fight right now.
だからもうおとなしく私の胸の中に帰って、そして二度と現れないで。
いやー、私たちお互いに勘違いしてるわね。そうよ、私はもうあんたじゃないの。
She wants to break out of the
あんたは
Eva's
後ろ
body,
に
I
会え
guess.
ば私は黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェだから、あんたの胸の中に帰る義理はないの。さながらあなたという殻を脱皮して蝶になったような気分かしら。
Seems like it.
熱で意識が朦朧とする。
Oh man, the gold really did break you, huh?
私の魔力が未熟な
And
分を
all
あ
that
なたの正気で補って
standing
る
under the
の。
rain.
私が儀式を終えて完全な魔女になるまであなたに負担をかけるかもね。それくらいは2つの夢を叶えてあげた対価ってことにしてもらうわよ。大丈夫、安心して。残る5人の生贄についてはあんたの家族は外してあげるわ。
So Hideyoshi and George only, I guess.
そうね。ルドルフ、キリエ、クラウス、ナツヒ。あとは老いぼれの南條なんかどう？ちょうどいいわ。この5人を殺すわね。
I don't believe you.
あなただけに明かす殺害予告ってところかしら。
Going gunning for Kraus and Nazi sounds like something that Eva would do. I'm surprised she's not gunning for Jessica though. I'd rather have it that way actually. Don't gun for Jessica. Eva finally crouched down. Hideyoshi rushed up to her and lent her his shoulder.
大丈夫か？無理せんと休もう。
大丈夫かね、南條先生、エヴァ。
When Ganjo, sorry, not Ganjo. When Ganjo and George tried to approach, Eva made a gesture to stop them.
ありがとう。大丈夫よ、南條先生。薬なら飲んでるの。こんな非常事態で申し訳ないけど、もう少しだけ休ませてもらうわ。
母さん、僕も肩を貸すよ。
ありがとう。お父さんが見ててくれるから平気よ。あなたは2階のいとこ部屋に戻って決して出てこないように。
I'll be fine with your father's magic hand.
いいわね。何があってもゲストハウスを出ちゃダメよ。外にはあの魔女が。
もう喋るなや。みんなすまんな。わしはエヴァを部屋で看病しとる。なんかあったら呼んでや。
Hideyoshi and Eva retreated from the lobby. However, Eva wasn't the only one who wasn't feeling good. They hadn't gotten a wink of sleep since the previous night and had been pressed by tension since that morning. They were mustering their energy to protect their families, but if they relaxed even a little, surely everyone would be down and out. Uh-oh. Everybody's pulled a full-nighter and they can't keep up anymore.
ここまでは順調であるが、ここからが難しいぞ。
難しいとは？
大抵の場合、儀式が進行するにつれ犠牲者が増えると、彼らは守りを固めるようになり、多くの場合、ひとところに固まって動かなくなるのだ。それは我らにとって非常に都合が悪い。
It's inconvenient, okay?
私たち魔女が群れた人間に劣るということですか？
魔女が人間に劣ることはない。ただ、時代が変わり、人間が毒を持つようになったというべきか。
That poison would be better being mean to me!
大昔の魔法が信じられていた時代は問題なかったのだが、現代人はあの小憎たらしいバトル
That annoyance pattern, bruh.
基本的に魔法を否定する。
They are both pouting at each other like,
つまり存在自体が反魔法的なのだ。
Anti-magical,
その結果、
okay?
彼らはいつの間にか体内に魔法を否定する毒素を有するようになった。
Okay.
つまり人間の数が多ければ多いほどその反魔法の毒素が強くなって私たち魔女には不利だとおっしゃられるのですか？
Anti-magic toxins.
彼らの魔法を否定する心の
That's interesting.
すなわち対魔法抵抗力の合計値がそのまま魔法力の分母となるわけだ。
Is this a new thing?
わかるか？
Is that the reason why we had letters and other ways of luring people away? Because if you think about it, the murders that happened under Beato had small groups of people, right? And the people who she killed normally had at least one or two people who kind of believed in magic, right? Such as Shannon in episode 2, Amaria right now. Who else did we have? Well, all the servants believe in the magic, so there's that.
そなたにはちと難しい。
But I assume with the adults that were left, it's a different story. But at the same time, she did kill all the parents except for Rosa in episode 2. So I wonder.
実に簡単にわかります。
Hello, Beatrice looks so cool. Hi, Viverum, how are you doing? Beatrice does indeed look very cool. Both of them.
つまり
But I like
魔法を
our
信じない
Beato
人
the
間が
most.
多ければ多いほど、そしてその意志が強ければ強いほど魔法。なるほど。そのような計算式ならば攻め方を考え直さなければなりません。
Fundamentally, magic possesses a vast power. It can even make a rain of fire fall from the heavens or divide the sea, and reviving a lost life isn't impossible either. However, that power is extremely weak against the toxin that rejects it. And that toxin started piling up in humans since the time they forgot to respect things sacred. Until finally this earth was covered with enough toxin that the miracles of magic could not be displayed. Thus, witches from across the world were chased from their dwellings. They had been forced to choose to throw away their magic and live as humans, or as live in hiding in the remote areas where the toxins of humans didn't reach. Okay, in that sense, Rokkenjima, with its population of only a few dozen humans, was extremely favorable for witches. And even more favorable was the existence of the ghost story about the witch who lived in the Rokkenjima forest. Ah, okay, that explains it. In other words, by permeating the island with the fear that a witch might exist, the magic-resisting toxin from the humans was weakened. A small population and room for them to acknowledge magical beings. In other words, minds that were only weakly anti-magical. Only by existing in the valley where those two converged could a witch live in modern times. Beato is looking sus now. I think a little bit, but more like in the sense of she appears to be trying to proceed with the game in a way that might not anger Battler too heavily.
つまりその計算式によるならば、魔女が効率よく力を振るうにはいくつかのルールがあることになりますね。一つは演出。人間の仕業とは思えない殺人を演出し、オカルト的な装飾を施して、彼らに魔女の存在を強くアピールし、浸透させることによって、彼らは魔女の存在を信じるようになり、その結果、反魔法力が減少して、魔法力の分母の減少も図られる。
Oh, is that the reason why we had the magic circles at this point? Like, thinking about it, in episode 1, most of the murders were pretty traditional looking, right? But we still had the magic circles. And the possibility of the witch started to increase starting chapter 2. So I'm going to assume that's what the strategy up until now was.
第一の番の不気味な魔法陣の演出などはこれに当たるわけですか。
Okay, so basically Eva said it for me. EVATrice, sorry. I'll start saying Eva and EVATrice so that it's easier to compare. Sorry, easier to differentiate.
毎回の第一の番のどぎつい演出はすべてそのためのものなんだ。別に決してわらわが残酷なのが好きで面白半分でやっていたわけではないのだぞ。
だとしたら先代様、今回のは失敗ですね。殺し方が非常に地味でした。ただのミステリーにしか見えません。ロノウェイに聞いていますが、前回や前々回のように遺体をもっと派手に損壊してファンタジーに見せかけ、彼らに恐怖心を植え付けるべきでしたね。
まあ、
She's like, I'm actually trying to impress Battler, so I kind of have to change my strategy.
毎
I'm
回それでは
sorry.
芸がないと思ってな。深く考えるでない。気まぐれだ。
Actually, it really had been her whim. After what Battler said to her, she couldn't say it out loud anymore. But she really had decided her methods of killing based on mere whims. No, would it be better to say that she had half-heartedly let Ronovale decide? After all, she left the closed rooms of their game's first twilight to him. Oh, okay. Is that true? Okay, but if she had a cruel idea, then she would surely have explored the limits of atrocity even worse than in the previous game.
ローザとマリアの殺し方についても先代様は自重するようにおっしゃられましたが、それも私たち魔女に利する行為ではありませんね。実際彼らは現時点では魔女が実在するなんてこれっぽっちも信じてません。
Well, now that Eva is starting to spew about witches,
ファンタジーでなく完全にミステリーだと確信しています。私たち魔女にとって失敗した展開です。先代様がどういうわけかぬるいやり方を繰り返したせいです。
ああ、そのだな。若いうちの苦労は買ってでもしろと言うではないか。先代からそなたへのこれは試練である。慎んで挑むがよいぞ。
she's trying so hard. Beato tried to laugh heartily, but it was obvious the fake laugh of someone trying to cover something up. And the new witch shrugged with a sigh.
この段階から演出によって反魔法力を減ずるのは多分手遅れでしょうね。となればもう一つの手、人間の分散が良いでしょう。
うん、それが最も効果的であろうぞ。人間の人数が少なければ少ないほど分母の数は減るわけだ。
Yeah, that's a strategy that she has been using since the absolute very first game.
その結果、魔法力はてきめんとなる。つまりこの籠城状態をいかに崩して少人数に分散させるかがここからのポイントとなるわけだな。しかし彼らはもはや用心深い。容易には籠城を崩せぬぞ。前々回の金蔵の書斎での籠城、前回の客間での籠城、いずれも手強かった。
Yeah, that's true. The barricade in Kinzo's study was like entirely protected.
老快な大人勢がほとんど残った状態での籠城となっておる。
I love the way she says it, like, oh, most of the annoying humans, adults, stayed behind this time.
状況はこれまで以上に困難であるぞ。
I wonder if she did it on purpose.
そなたが望むなら特別に助言を与えてやっても良いのだがな。
In a closed circle, when the first murder case occurs, the survivors always hold up, gathering together to observe each other and ensure their safety. Funnily enough, not only do mystery authors and murder culprits worry about how to break that situation apart, but so do witches, who supposedly exist at the other end of the spectrum. For a while, the new witch poked her cheek with her pointed finger. And after acting as though she was planning something, she spoke.
いいえ、結構です。試練ですから。先代様の手は借りません。
そうか？
Uh-oh, I think she's gonna be like, Beato, I'm not gonna follow your test. I'm gonna go ape shit! I'm gonna do so much gore!
のはなかなかに難しいぞ。
すでに手は打ってあります。
You did?
きっと引っかかるはずです。頭のいいやつならむしろ必ず。
On someone smart?
そうか。
Are you targeting Kyrie?
そなたは優秀であるな。
Because the third most intelligent person in this room is Kyrie, in my opinion.
弟子でわらわは嬉しいぞ。
私、人に聞く前に自分で勉強するがモットーなので。それでは失礼します。獲物がのこのこと誘い出されるのを待たねばなりませんので。
それではしっかりな。
Oh, Beato, you are in such a doozy. You recruited the most violent of them all, I guess. As the new witch lowered her head, her face blank, she turned into gold butterflies and vanished. Beato didn't look happy at all. She seemed to be lonely because of how little she was being relied on. Well, what can I say?
どいつもこいつもわらわのことなど構いもせぬ。
Maybe making the most abusive sister in the household was not the best course of action. I mean, she's not the worst. She's not worse than Kinzo, for instance, but you know, she did bully Rudolph and Rosa both.
その時こそ ようやくわらわの偉大さを理解し、教えを請おうとするに違いないのだ。
Nah.
それまでわらわは高みの見物よ。
She laughed loudly on the outside, but a laugh no one can hear is completely pointless. Aw, Beato gave up and quickly stopped laughing. Ronobe chose that time to show himself. Yes, please entertain her, she's sad.
失礼いたします。お嬢様、バトラ様との第2の番のゲームが終了いたしました。
そうか。ご苦労であった。守備はどうであったか。
申し訳ございません。
Oh, you were forced to resign.
バトラ様のローザがマリアを考察、赤にて両名他殺で切り返したのですが、エヴァを主犯に据えられた一連の指し手を切り返せませんでした。
Oh, yeah, so it was basically the same idea I had.
エヴァは秀吉にずっと看病されて部屋で寝ていたであろうが。
秀吉も共犯で両名でアリバイを作った可能性を提示されました。
Oh, that's right. That's a possibility.
秀吉まで疑うか。殺害時には客室にいたと赤にて叩き切ってやればよいではないか。
それも考えましたが、いずれにせよ数手先でいくつかの大駒を奪われてしまうかもしれません。
Oh, Ronobe is playing like 4D chess in
それ
here.
にこの手が新しきベアトリーチェ様が撃たれた、それを尊重することといたしました。申し訳ありません。
布石か。あやつ頭が切れるようだからの好きにさせておくがよい。どこまでやれるか見ものだ。
Let's see. I like that she's looking like, oh, she's going to make Batra hate me more. That's
そうおっしゃる
great.
と思いました。弟子が可愛くないので、ご機嫌斜めとお見受けしますよ。
The uncuteness. She's like, she's a big gremlin. I understand.
あやつめ、ここからの籠城をどう崩していくつもりなのか。
I wonder if I classify in the cuteness group.
わらわもじっくり拝見させてもらうとするぞ。
Asking for science.
ああ、バトラの機嫌の方はどうなのか？
落ち着いておられるように見えました。
But?
やはりお嬢様が相手でないと盛り上がらないとおっしゃっておいででしたよ。
Welp.
そうか。そうであろう、そうであろう。第4の番以降はやはりわらわが復帰しないとバトラも寂しかろうな。
Is he baiting her into appearing in front of Battler only to make him angry?
それでは私はこれで失礼させていただきます。
If you would excuse me, I gotta do more gamer
美味
chess
しいク
moves.
ッキーを焼かねばなりません。
Bake some delicious cookies.
せめてお嬢様とバトラ様のお話が弾みますように。
うん。あいつ、お前のクッキーボリボリ食ってたな。
Looks like it.
やはり男の子だからお腹が空くのであろう。
She looks excited.
多めに
Look
焼いてや
at
れ
her.。
かしこまりました。クッキーでテーブルを埋めてご覧に入れましょう。
Oh my god. Burying the table with cookies? What a
それが
man.
良いぞ。
Please bring me a table buried by cookies too. That's something I would like for my birthday, which is in 3 days.
なんだよ。
Like a day before Valentine's Day.
話ってなんだ。
Kyrie called Rudolph out into the corridor. It's obvious that she wanted to talk about something that she didn't want the others to hear.
あのね、私、
Oh, are they going to be next?
表へ出たい。
No! Kyrie, no! Don't go yet! I like that she says, I want to go outside, and immediately it like time skips. Don't go outside! No! Kyrie, no! You were for once alive for a game. Don't go so soon.
確かにわずかばかりの朝食では体が持たないが、
しかしもちろん分かってるさ。だがな、時間を置けばどんどん暗くなってくる。多分今が一番明るい。今が一番都合がいいんだ。
ローザさんたちが襲われてからまだ1時間も経ったかどうかですよ。
An hour.
いくらなんで
Okay.
も不用心です。
It was only natural that Nazi was yelling about recklessness. After all, Rudolph had said he was going to the mansion to get food. Certainly on the top of their fatigue, their hunger was tormenting them. Kitty is committing a bruh moment. I mean, she is. But they are hungry. In the beginning, a mild level of hunger had been just what they needed to fight off their drowsiness. However, it now just made their minds hazy since it was still only midday, and their bodies felt like they were reaching their limits. The thought of going to the kitchen in the mansion and bringing back some food certainly was attractive.
私は反対です。多少は辛いでしょうが、断じてここを出るべきではありません。
I mean, they could leave in droves.
私たちはいい。だが子供たちにひもじい思いをさせるのは心が痛む。親として責任を負わねばなるまい。
あなた。
Imagine if Kraus is like approving because low key he's like, hey, if Rudolph and Kyrie both leave now, then we're the only Yoshinomiyas left, right?
お父様が亡くなられた今、後ろ宮家の当主はあなたです。そのような危険を冒すことは許されません。
He's like, exactly. That's why I want them gone.
そうね。夏日さんの言う通りよ。クラウスさんはリーダーとしてここに残るべきね。
なら誰が屋敷へ行くんだね。俺とキリエ、あと秀吉兄さんの3人で行こうと思う。
No! Don't leave Eva alone. This is recipe for disaster. Don't.
そう簡単に向こうも手出しはできないはずだ。
Just give Kitty a gun.
ローザさんも銃を持っていましたが襲われました。危険ではありませんか？
ローザたちの様子を確かめに出た時、銃を持っていたが、俺は一人だった。だが襲われなかった。男が相手なら、向こうも慎重なのかもしれないぜ。
Wow, that's kind of dumb, but I guess 80s, you gotta expect that.
そしてさらに銃も2丁。
We have 2 men and 2 guns. Surely an 80s murderer will be scared of a man.
に徹してもらって、荷物は台車で私が運ぶわ。ローザさんの時とは状況が明らかに異なるはずよ。
I mean, technically, Kyrie also has 2 guns.
わしを男と見込んでの話なら、喜んで協力させてもらうで。
These bazongas deflect guns, especially the pachinko sprite, which is like, damn. The pachinko sprite for Kyrie is insane.
力仕事は任せてえな。
男性は護衛役に徹してくれていいの。使用人室に折りたたみ式の台車があったから、それを使えば私一人でも十分に食料が運べるわ。もちろん用心はする。そしてこの冒険を一度だけ成功させれば、私たちはここを出る危険を冒す必要はないの。
Yeah, that's true.
なんとか考え
But it's
直
going
せ
to
ま
end
せ
with
ん
them
か。
dead. Wanna bet?
皆さんに空腹を強いるのは心苦しいですが、ですがしかし今の外は何が起こるか分かりません。
用心するで。それにエヴァはだいぶ体調が悪いんや。
Yes, and she needs your magic
空腹に
hand.
はできん。胃袋が空っぽじゃ飲める薬も飲めんわ。
Oh, that sucks.
エヴァのためにもわしは出かけにはならんのや。
I feel like this is exactly the recipe that we need to start killing in droves.
ようやく寝入ってくれたとこや。
Yes, and she's about to get up for murder.
しばらくそっとしたってや。
妻の体調があっては座してもいられんか。わかった。外出を許可しよう。じゃあ俺たちはさっくりと行ってくるぜ。スピード勝負だ。缶詰は OK だよな。
Speed
缶切り
contest.
クレーこっちにあるよね。
はい、缶切りと栓抜きはあります。
Oh, okay, that's at least the minimum that they could ask.
ゲストハウスに水道があるから。
I mean, you can open a can with a knife, it hurts.
10人分もあるんだから好き嫌いは言わせないわ。
よっしゃ、だだって走ってってさっさと持ってこようやないか。
But probably like
傘なんてさせてる
3.
暇あらへんで。
Like imagine 1 or 2 of them come back and one of them is dead. It's like, well, we have like a few cans and well, if necessary we have a meat, you know.
兄貴、留守番を頼むぜ。
気をつけてな。本当ならば自分も生きたい。男に生まれながらこのような急場で力を貸せぬ長男の肩書きが恨めしい。
こういう時くらいしか俺らには見せ場がないのさ。たまには譲って兄貴はのんびりしてろい。じゃあな、夏日さん、タオルの準備でもして待ってて
I'm
くれ。
with Kyrie. I also went out during a storm for some Popeyes.
傘はささねえから
I understand.
濡れネズミで帰ってくるぜ。
Sometimes you just gotta.
わかりました。お気をつけて。
Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi, each leaving their own brave world behind, left the hobby. The lobby, not the hobby. Oh boy. Compared to the time Rosa and Maria had gone outside, the winds were much stronger. Rudolph's group of 3 people jogged through the rose garden without umbrellas, holding their guns and a folded cart. If everything had been still and quiet without the wind and the rain, they would probably have kept their ears open and moved with caution. But in this rain, even if some suspicious person was hiding nearby, it would be difficult to notice them. Because of that, it had been Rudolph's plan to instead dash through the dangerous area. If there was a chance that their opponent was equipped with a gun, then walking slowly with their guard down would only make them targets. Taking swift action was probably the correct choice.
バラテーや、カモがネギしょってきたと思うとるかもしれんで。
頼むぜ。
He's like, I love this sprite for Rudolph and the gun. He has like that almost cat smile, the cat smile emoji, and the way he lifts the gun is just great. Like, hello, a shooty bang bang, woo. Even as Rudolph and Hideyoshi continued to run, they looked around restlessly, vigilant of their surroundings. Rosa and Maria's deaths had not been caused by a projectile weapon. However, it was easy to suspect that the servants had been killed in such a manner. Will they come flying out of the dark? Or will they take careful aim and snipe from the shadows? Either way, they couldn't relax their tension for even an instant. Sorry, but even so, when they reached the overhang in front of the entrance to the mansion and escaped the reach of the raindrops, they felt themselves breathing a sigh of relief.
まずは問題なしやな。ローザさんの時とは違う。うかつに手は出せんやろ。
そう信じたいね。キリエ、俺たちが見張ってる間に鍵を開けてくれ。
ええ、SP が2人もついたお屋敷に帰宅だなんて実にエグゼクティブな気分よ。
赤絨毯で召使いのお出迎えがあれば完璧や。
Let's see.
お出迎えか。あるかもな。用心しようぜ。
Time to go in with guns. As the two cautiously surveyed their surroundings, Kyrie unlocked the entrance with the master key she had been given.
開いたわ。
秀吉兄さん、戦闘を頼めるか。俺は背後を警戒するぜ。
了解や。キリエさん、わしの影から出ないようにな。ほな、突入するで。
後方了解。援護するぜ。
I got your back. Whoa!
男の人ってやね。この状況をちょっぴり楽しんでるでしょう。
諦めろよ。それが男ってもんだぜ。
We are men. We like to shoot.
しかし。
We like guns.
相変わらずひでえ匂いだな。
It felt like the air in the mansion was stagnant with a gloomy silence. And on top of that, it was still thick with the stench from Kinzel's burned corpse in the boiler room, and they were struck with an uncontrollable desire to leave the mansion.
前方、問題ないで。厨房まで一っ走りや。
とっとと済ませて引き上げよう。
Hurry!
そい
Hurry
つ
up
が
before
親父
Eva
の匂い
gets
で
you!
訓示をされちまうぜ。
The three of them dashed towards the kitchen. And then EVATrice appeared. I didn't even finish my sentence and there she is! And after they disappeared from the entrance hall, the new witch appeared there.
まんまと誘い出されたわね。
Uh-oh.
私の罠にまんまと引っかかってくれた。
The witch grinned. Thinking about it now, no matter how unbearable their hunger had grown, it hadn't been a few hours since Rosa and Mari had been attacked and had lost their lives. In that case, why had they needed to recklessly leave the guest house? Until that question could be dealt with, the only answer was that they had been called out by the witch's magic.
不用心なやつら。もう生きてこの屋敷からダッシュはしないわ。閉じよ、鍵よ、屋敷よ。
The instant she proclaimed that, the mansion locked. The mansion was sealed off into a separate world. Unless her barrier was undone, no longer would anyone be able to exit this mansion or enter it. Oh, there he is!
無限の魔女を継承してからまだ半日も経たないのに、それほどまでに魔法を使いこなされると
I'm being done this way!
その才能に驚きます。まるであなたは生まれながらにしての魔女のようだ。
だって私、生まれた時から魔女だもの。
I see.
あなたは瞬きの仕方を誰かに習うの？私が魔法を使えるのはそういうことよ。
Look at his face! He first came in with a compliment and now he's looking like, oh my god, I have to deal with this gremlin.
恐ろしいお方だ。
The witch's face twisted with brutality. She just couldn't help looking forward to toying with someone's life again.
さてさて。まずはルドルフとキリエなわけだけど、どんな残酷な殺し方をしてやろうかしら。
失礼ながら先代様より不必要な残酷なる殺害は控えるようご指示を賜っております。
She's gonna be like, fuck the rules!
そして第4の晩以降は生贄の捧げ方に作法がございます。それには煉獄の7姉妹の力を借りねばなります。
Oh yeah, the gouge, the eye and kill and stuff like that.
あら、そうだったの？そういえばそうだったわね。好き勝手に遊べるのはさっきの第2の晩までなのね。つまんないわ。またローザの時みたいに思い切り遊べると思ったのに。
She really just wants to cause the maximum violence that she can. I understand wanting to cause so much violence, unrestrained. I understand. Trust me, I do. But that only counts for how they killed in the end, I see.
と申しますと。
Oh no, she's going to be like, I'm going to kill them as much as I want, and the final death will be graceful.
私が何度どれほどの殺し方をしようとも生き返らせて最後に碑文の殺し方に沿えばいいわけでしょ。つまり私がどう遊ぼうと結局は問題ないってことになるわ。
Uh-oh.
こんなに面白い力誰がおとなしくなんかするもんか。
I almost have the feeling this might bite EVATrice back in the ass. Her absurd argument was, for an endless witch, an extremely valid one. The etiquette that controlled the manner of killing the sacrifice of the fourth twilight and onward was represented by the lines like gouge the head. However, that referred to the way those people died in the end. In other words, in the process leading up to that, she was free to tease and kill them however she wanted. She just had to keep on reviving them and follow the rules only when she killed them the final time. Though Ronove felt that her innocent cruelty was part of her talent as a witch, he was beginning to notice an innately brutal side of her.
魔女は見習いが最も残忍と申しますが、本当のようですね。ご随意にと申し上げたいところですが、
Except?
ここはやはり自重なさった方が賢明でしょう。彼らは銃を持っています。
And?
銃のような反魔法力の高い武器は魔女や悪魔の天敵です。
The witch stared blankly at this demon butler, who was surprisingly afraid of guns.
話が違うわ。魔女は弾丸なんか追いかけられてもへっちゃらじゃないのかしら。
I don't know, why don't you try it yourself?
いいえ、普通の人間と全く同じように致命傷となります。その弱点を蹴取らせないために、多くの魔女は厳重に防御結界や家具の守備によって身辺を固めるのです。
That reminds me when Beatrice was shot at in episode 1. I think she deflected the bullet back to Nazi, so it would make sense.
私にその防御結界というのはあるの？
No. Or at
銃弾
least.
をも無効にする結界の構築には十分な準備と儀式が必要です。残念ながら今のベアトリーチェ様にはございません。また銃弾を防げるほどの家具の召喚も現在はその準備がありません。
I almost like the implication that he's saying that for not to summon the sisters, and at the same time, I will not shield you of a bullet, milady. I will not do that.
これほどの魔力を持つ大魔女になり
Understandable.
なが
I
ら
would want Ronobe to be
それでも
shot
やは
at
り
either.
鉛
I
玉に
would
怯えなければならないのね。
I would snap if Ronobe got shot at. I will go apeshit. This is a man who's not allowed to die, understand? I will not accept the Ronobe death.
仕方がないわ。となれば、家具を呼び出して私の手足とすればいいわけね。
If Ronobe ever is in the possibility of death, I will alt F4 and that will never happen.
はい。
If I don't see it happen, it doesn't happen. I'm saying it now.
魔女の優雅なるたしなみでございます。ここは家具に任せ、ベアトリーチェ様は安全なところへお隠れを。
わかったわ。
So who's going to
煉
fight?
獄の七姉妹？誰でもいいわ。適当に二人。
Leviathan and Belphegor responded to that call. Oh, Leviathan we didn't see last time in action, and Belphegor either. This is nice.
ここに。
タイダのベルフェゴール。ここに。
Sloth, okay.
あんたたちの力を見せてもらうわ。標的はルドルフとキリエ。秀吉はダメよ。さあ、あなたたちがどれだけ残酷な家具なのか、私に見せてみ。
恐れながら、先代様より不要なる残酷行為は控えるようご命令を賜っております。
Oh my god, EVATrice is about to be so pissed at these rules.
でも、先代様のご命令の範囲内でいたぶることはできると思います。それでもよろしいですか？わかった。それで妥協するわ。簡単に殺してはダメよ。徹底的に追い詰めて死の恐怖を味わわせてから殺すのよ。それでいいのかしら、ロノウェ？
はい。程度をお考えいただければ問題ないかと思います。
なら、お行きなさい。
Let's go!
はい、お任せを。
相手は銃で武装しています。あなたたちほどのものならばかわすことはたやすいでしょうが、もしも当たれば致命傷ですよ。
Okay, I
くれ
see.
ぐれも用心を。
ご心配なく。
I'm curious how
そ
this
のよ
fight
うな
will
無様
go.
は晒しません。
Let's go! The two sisters of Purgatory vanished. Ronobe bowed and vanished himself. I kinda wanna see Ronobe fighting, even though I'm like, I don't want him to get shot. There are even rules on how to kill them, yeah.
なんで私が先代様に気兼ねしなくちゃならないの？
Because it do be like that.
窮屈でつまらない。
As the witch looked up at the portrait of the predecessor Beatrice hung in the hall, she cursed. The three people had already arrived at the kitchen and were gathering food supplies. Considering the possibility of poison, they gave up on the alluring fruits and vegetables and gathered a whole cardboard box full of only the safe canned foods. It was very heavy, but by piling it on the cart, they could carry it well enough. This should be more than enough for 10 people to hold out until tomorrow's breakfast. that should carry them until the boat arrives. The two men were supposed to be focused solely on guard duty, but the way of the road was tough on Kyrie even with the cart. Hideyoshi, who wanted to show off his power, switched to the cart pusher, and Rudolph and his wife took up the task of guard duty.
これだけあればジョージたちも満腹やろ。帰るまでが遠足や。行くで。
And Hideyoshi vigorously announced their departure. Kyrie frowned and seemed to be gazing into the distance. There was a wall in that direction. No, if her gaze could go through that, there was the main hall beyond it.
どうした？キリエ。
チリチリするの。嫌な予感がするわ。
Uh-oh. Kyrie stopped walking and narrowed her eyes even further. She has a sharp intuition, but I guess you can call it that. At times like this, Kyrie's intuition often rang true, even when she didn't have a logical reason. Rudolph believes in that intuition, because she is smart and has a good intuition.
私たちは待ち伏せされてる。さっきまではその気配はなかったの。でもたった今感じたわ。たった今、待ち伏せられた。
Oh, she is
北に血を
good.
戻る義理はねえな。そこに勝手口があるじゃねえか。そっちから出よう。
Rudolph made to unlock the back door. When goods were carried into the kitchen, they never passed through the part of the mansion that the family came and went from. So outside the back door, there was probably a ramp used to carry things in. Surely they would be able to leave through there with the cart.
なんだこりゃ。勝手。
Well, you're gonna have to leave through the front.
どうなってんだ。
開かないの？
ああ。
Then break the door down.
びくともしねえぜ。
Oh no, but that would mean he'd have to waste a bullet. Yeah, so it probably shouldn't. Rudolph tried various things, first using force, then coaxing it, but the lock was as hard as stone and didn't even budge.
無理せんと玄関から出ようや。
Hold on, toilet again. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue.
もたもた時間を潰す方が今は惜しいで。
I still have some tea. I should drink it.
これが罠だってのか。
わからない。
I think it's a trap.
用心して。
With strained expressions, the three of them returned to the hall again and headed for the entrance.
誰だ?
He's ready. The instant they exited into the hall, Rudolph noticed a suspicious shadow right in front of them and yelled. In that instant, a storm of gold leaves started blowing. Gold butterflies covered the area with a gold color.
信じられん。人間ごときが我らの待ち伏せを予見したか。
Well, Kyrie is smart. What do you expect?
私のせいじゃないわよ。気配は消してたもん。
躊躇しないで。撃って。
The two guns spouted fire. The lead bullets blasted right through the magical defense of the pair as easy as though it were a wet paper wall. But the two figures that should have been there had disappeared. Certainly guns were frightening objects for them, but there was no need to fear as long as they weren't hit. They at least had enough speed to dodge those.
ちょっと名乗りも上げさせないつもり？
No.
これだから人間は嫌なのよ。
No, Kyrie is just a matter of fact, and she like doesn't beat around the bush. She doesn't wait. She's like, threat, dead, kill him. Revia then was full 10 meters from where she had supposedly been, popping her head out from behind the pillars in the shadow of the staircase and protesting.
ベアトリーチェ様のご命令により貴様らを撃つ。時間をかけてホフレトのご命令だ。抵抗は自由。されど無駄と知れ。
That voice came from overhead. Belphegor could be seen on top of the hall chandelier. Elegantly looking down upon them, she proclaimed their execution with a cruel smile.
なんなんやこの姉ちゃんたちは。
台車は忘れて。相手は2人よ。3回すれば全員を追うことはできないわ。
All three of them were well acquainted with the inside of the mansion. In case of a crisis, they had planned to run off in separate directions, returning to the guest house by breaking windows or leaving through a back door. Fighting was forbidden, as long as they could fully escape.
36系逃げるが勝ちだぜ。
The three of them ran into the depths of the mansion at full tilt. That pair of furniture calmly watched them go.
私は女の方をやるわ。
Oh yes, I love this track!
あんたは男。
了解した。
The furniture in the shadows of the pillar and on the chandelier made their figures explode, and leaving behind only the sound of a hopping Beato knocking against the wall, they pushed their respective targets. Their speed was overwhelming, and they easily blocked the other's path of retreat. Oh, I love this track so much. Let's go. I'm ready.
楽しませてくれるといいのだけど。
ベアトリーチェ様、みだりに姿を現されない方がよろしいかと。
キングは緑に中央を動かないものよ。それが王者の魔女の貫禄よ。
She really wants to assert her dominance, I see. Belphegor was already blocking the way in front of Rudolph, who had boldly tried to escape to the second floor.
抵抗もそして闘争も無駄だ。お前は何も考えなくていい。
Ah yes, that song is in the fighting game too. Oh, that's nice to know.
ただ目を閉じているだけでいい。私がすべて優しく終わらせてやる。
あんたいい嫁さんになれるね。
What are you saying?
疲れて帰ってくる旦那はそういうのを喜ぶぜ。
Rudolph, do you have a type?
この後に及んで不埒な話をする余裕があると。良き獲物、ベアトリーチェ様、感謝します。死ね
！Oh, Rudolph shot first. Oh! But even before that bullet could hit her, Belphegor had already moved behind Rudolph's back. Nothing personal, kid. She then raised the purple curve, springing out from her arm. However, incredibly, before that arm could decapitate Rudolph, he had swung his gun behind him. The barrel remained pointing behind his back. From the same motion which he had reloaded the sawed-off gun one-handedly, it was pointing right at Belphegor's chest. Click, clack, clunk! It was the sound of the ejected empty cartridge finally hitting the wall after the reload. In other words, it meant that the next shot was already fully loaded. Without turning around, his gun pointing right at Belphegor's chest, Rudolph grinned. Damn, he's not bad!
西部劇世代をなめるんじゃねえぜ。ガキどもにエヴァアクションの渋みは語らせねえ。
Don't fuck with Bator's parents, I guess. Did he win? Just like Rudolph, Kyrie was also confronting a demon stake in the first floor corridor.
間抜けなやつね。夫と一緒に逃げればよかったのに。さっきのが根性の別れになったわよ。
How's Kyrie gonna handle this?
大丈夫よ。うちの人、こういうのとても得意なの。
Oh?
すぐに白馬で迎えに来てくれるわ。私が困った時、彼が助けに来てくれなかったことはないんだから。アスムさんがいた頃であってもね。
Asumu-san? Who's that?
本当に仲のいい夫婦ね。私は嫉妬のレビアタン。
I like that she fully trusts him.
嫉妬するわ。嫉妬こそ我が力、我が怒り、我が源泉。
同感ね。嫉妬は女の力の原点よ。
Oh?
それが力だというなら、あなたごときお嬢ちゃんになんか負けないんだから。
Oh shit.
嫉妬を司る私によくも言えたわね。
Oh boy.
お前たち夫婦を再会などさせるものか。悲劇的な別れを与えてやるわ。
The arm Leviathan swung was trailed by a purple curve. It was a magic blade that cut with the power of malice. He blocked it with her gun! She has a gun! Even though the magic blade should have cut through the metal like butter, the gun, which is extremely high magic resistance power, was able to block the blade as easily as if it were a rolled up newspaper. Rapidly 2 times, 3 times, it blocked all of them. Kyrie, let's fucking go! Girl boss, let's go! And without missing the opening created when that purple curve took a swing upward, Kyrie kicked Leviathan in the stomach with her heel. Leviathan was knocked away like a lightly dancing feather. Before the demon's stake feet touched the ground again, Kyrie was already pointing her gun directly at Leviathan in midair. From that position, the 2 women who had called envy a form of power met each other's gaze.
撃てる？その引きだね。
私、夫のいないところでは。
Yo! Yo! This is so cool! Oh, yo! Kyrie is such an unrelenting badass. I love this. Rudolph tumbled down the staircase. He'd been gradually cornered by Belphegor and had been pushed back into the main hall they'd stared from. Oh my god, this is so cool! Let me just say this, I really like Kyrie.
ベアトリーチェ様、まだ終わっていません。姿を現されては危険です。
お前、まさか姉貴なのか。
それはかつて私の名だった。でも今は違うわよ、ルドルフ。
言わなくても分かってます。
He's like, I don't care, die.
黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェだっていうの。
Oh, he's up to speed.
どうしてわかったの？
ローザが殺された時から想像がついたです。ローザ、許しね。お前の地獄にお前の大嫌いな姉を送っちまうことをよ。
Oh man.
ベアトリッチ様、危ない！
Rudolph mercilessly pointed the barrel of his gun at the witch who claimed to have once been his sister, but Belphegor would not permit that and attacked savagely. She dashed, disappeared, and headed for Rudolph's back. She dodged that shot again and again headed for Rudolph's back, and vanished over and over, instantly moving into Rudolph's blind spots. Oh! It was almost like she was a fairy. As she blinked in and out of vision, Belphegor incessantly drove towards Rudolph.
これはこれで楽しいかもしれない。ルドルフ、あんたの検討がどこまで続くかゆっくり見物させてもらうわ。
Man, she has one hell of a laugh. At that time, there was a dull tearing sound along with Rudolph's cry of anguish. Rudolph's reaction to the dance of the purple curve had pressed upon him had finally been too slow, and he let it lightly cut his flank. Alright. That single wound slowed him down just once. That led to a new wound, which slowed his action again. Belphegor's dance began to swallow Rudolph whole. Watching Rudolph's body gradually get carved up, his former sister let out a shrill laugh. Where's Kyrie? Is she coming? Is she going to be the hero in a white horse? Let's see. Leviathan could no longer hide her irritation that Kyrie hadn't suffered a single fatal wound.
私は本当にクドンヌの7姉妹の中でいつも一番成長が遅かったわ。いつも私が遅くて弱くて 間抜けだったわ。
Oh, is she activating more of her
その
envy?
劣等感が嫉妬となり、それを力として変換した時、私は姉妹の誰にも負けない力を得たのよ。
少女時代の程よい劣等感は大事よ。女に化粧と努力を教えてくれるわ。
人間ごときにその力の限りを尽くすのは気に入ら、夫に全幅の信頼を寄せるあなたへの嫉妬を私は力に変える。
Okay.
気に入らないのになんで命のやり取りをしてるのよ。あんたはそんなに余裕なの？
Because she's a badass.
どうしてかしらね。
分かってるのよ。必ず夫が助けに来てくれて自分を助けてくれる。信じきってすごいじゃない。その信頼嫉妬に値するわ。
What kind of trust did we sisters have for each other? The sisters are always looking down on each other, trying to thoroughly lambast each other when things already look bad.
いつも姉妹たちにいじめられてきたわ。誰か一人だけでも味方になってほしいとずっと思ってたわ。だからその一人だけの味方がいて全幅の信頼を寄せることができるあなた。その夫を信じきった余裕ある表情。
Oh, I wonder if that's what
人が
exactly
力
what
を
you
与え
think.
てくれるのを感じるわ。これは超えちゃうかもね。音速。
Leviathan turned herself into a stake, and the speed of her flight as she attacked was proportional to the strength of her envy.
姉妹たちに見下されたあの日、私は成長の早い他の6人を心の底から嫉妬した。7日7番をかけて嫉妬したわ。その末に得た私の力と速度を見るがいい。
Oh,
死
oh,
ね
oh.
後ろ見やキリエ。
What's gonna happen? Demon Stake exposed her true form, leaping about at a terrible speed. The noise from her bouncing off the wall sounded like a machine gun. By now, Kyrie probably couldn't tell if it was a single stake or a swarm of beetles flying and bouncing around. Leviathan was over 100% certain of her victory, believing it from the bottom of her heart. But then Kyrie spoke in an unbelievably calm voice.
ルドルフさんと最初から付き合っていたのは私だったのよ。
Oh?
アスムさんが白々しく間に入り込んできて、
Oh, Asumu was probably
ちゃっ
the
かり
other
と
wife.
解任したのよ。
Oh?
ルドルフさんは悪くないわ。あの女が体を武器にして立ち回ってルドルフさんに婚約せざるを得ないよう追い詰めたのよ。
Oh shit!
アスムさんはバトラ君を身ごもってたわ。そして同じ頃私もまた男の子を身ごもってた。運命的なことに私たちの出産日は共に同じ日だったわ。
Oh no!
そしてアスムさんはバトラ君を出産したわ。だけれど
No!
私はダメだ。
Oh, poor girl.
思ったことがあるわ。もしダメだったのがアスムさんで出産したのが私だったなら、ルドルフさんは婚約を解消して私と結婚してくれたかしら。でも私は子供を産めなかった。だからアスムさんが死ぬまで、そしてエンジェを解任するまで、私はアスムさんを呪ったわ。嫉妬したわ。アスムさんなんか死んでしまう。そして私と再婚してほしいってずっとずっと嫉妬して呪って、そしてやっとアスムさんが死んだ。
Oh man.
私は確信したわ。私には魔法の力があって、それが呪いとなってアスムさんを殺したんだって。でも私の嫉妬の炎は収まらない。
Because Battler still exists, huh?
内緒よ。バトラ君を見るたびにね、あの女を思い出しちゃう。
Oh no!
そしてバトラ君を見るたびにね、
Ah man.
もし私の子が生まれていたら同じ年だっただろうなって思ってしまう。
I see where she's coming from,
私は
but
今で
then...
も彼女を嫉妬し苛まれてる。今もこれからも未来永劫にね。7日7番姉妹を嫉妬したですって。
そうよ。
She's gonna be like, it's nothing compared to the hate I have for that woman.
合
Whoa!
わせるなよ小娘が。
Holy shit! Whoa!
てめえに男を取られて
18年間嫉妬し続ける女の狂気がわかるかよ。
18 years! Oh my god, do not fuck with Kyrie. If Leviathan had the power of 24 hours at times 7 days or 168 hours of speed, then the power that Kyrie had piled up was 24 hours in 1 day, 365 days in 1 year, and 18 whole years. Even without counting leap years, that was 157,680 hours. Damn. Compared to Leviathan's power and speed, it was more than 938 times greater. So then, even if Leviathan could soar at the speed of sound, 1,225 kilometers per hour, to Kyrie's eyes it only looked like 938th of that. Yo! Which means 1,225 divided by 938 is a speed of 1.3 kilometers per hour, which is extremely slow. She is brutal and she's a badass. They say a human's walking speed is 4 kilometers an hour, so it was even less than half of that. This is almost the same speed as a baby carrying on the floor, which means she's gonna kill you. In the time it took the demon stake to move at a pace so slow that you could count all the bits of dust floating through the air, Kyrie looked at it with pity. She pitied the slowness at which came towards her. Kill her! Do it! Then she lazily raised the barrel of her gun. Yo! I'm so high! Almost as though she was still trying to swallow the demon stake up with the gun barrel.
恋も嫉妬もあなた全然足りないわ。出直してらっしゃい、お嬢ちゃん。
Kill her! Do it! Yo! Oh my god! Yo! Oh, sorry I'm saying this so much, but Kyrie is so cool! Easily shot up in one of my favorite characters now, with just this.
ルドルフ、先ほどまでの威勢はどこへ？池作りは魚が跳ねてるうちがいいわ。死んだら面白みも何もない。もう十分よ。殺しちゃえば。
Kyrie is going to absolutely end you. Careful.
そこまで刻まれてよくぞここまで耐えた。もう十分だ。あとは何も考えなくてよい。痛みなく生を奪い去って。
待ってくれ。頼みがある。
Which is?
最後にあれがやってみて。
あれとは何か。
西部劇名物のあれだよ。背中を向け合ってから3歩歩いてズドンってやつ。
He wants a showdown? Let's go!
決闘か。よかろう。それにて根性の未練が尽きるならば受けてやる。
He's buying time for Kyrie, I think. Rudo moved his wound-covered body and turned his back to her. Belphegor responded and turned her back to his. Belphegor had an honest nature that was uncommon in a witch's furniture.
言っておく。たとえ私の眉間に銃口を突きつけたとしても、私はお前が引き金を引き、私の頭蓋骨に弾丸が至るよりも早く瞬間移動する。
そいつはもう骨身に染みてるぜ。お前は銃弾より早い。
それを知りつつ決闘を挑むお前の度胸に敬意を表し、好きや感謝せよ。
Let's see.
お前は律儀なやつだな。いい女だ。惚れそうだぜ。
始めるぞ。
Is he saying that to give Kyrie extra power? She's going to come in running like, don't you dare steal my man!
まず
1
は
そして
2
3歩だ。
3
これでいいのか。
そして3歩も歩いてまだ気づかねえな。俺の勝ちだな、お嬢ちゃん。
What did he do? He's cheating?
何
Rudolph turned around and fired a bullet. However, Belphegor could easily see through the speed and trajectory of a bullet like that. It should have been no problem at all to dodge it, but... what happened? But a spray of flesh buds flew about. Belphegor had set up an adequate magical defense barrier, but before an incarnation of anti-magic power such as that bullet, it was completely meaningless. The bullet had hit Belphegor right in the chest. The pain from the lead caused her to grimace, as she did the pain from the denial of magic. What did he do? I mean, we haven't seen Kyrie and Rudolph fight before, and it looks like they are by far the strongest humans so far. Do not fuck with these two. Because? Oh! Oh, you are cunning. That's galaxy brain move here. Damn, even Rudolph is a badass. The good Rudolph. Before me. As Belphegor slowly fell over, she lost even the power that kept her in human form, and she grew small like cold dust melting into thin air. At that point, Kyrie dashed in, seeing that she had somehow defeated her pursuer by her own hands. As she pointed the barrel of her gun straight at the witch, she ran up to the wound-covered Rudolph. She's like, damn it, I wish I shot her. Look at them! They're such a bad... Okay, I want to give them the award for the most badass couple in this story as of yet. Yo, oh my god, look at them! They're so cool! The two of them pinned the witch down the barrels of their guns. This is the badass couple. Big respect. I love them both.
Beatrice 様、ここは引くべきです。
Yes, do.
銃弾を防ぐ結界も覚悟も
Yes.
ここにはありません。
If you say run away, I'm going to punch you. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Don't toss run away in front of them. I will punch you in the mouth. The witch began to let out a muffled laugh. The sharp teeth, though, surprised not only Rudolph and Kyrie, but Ronove as well. Because a situation like this with two guns pointed at her was not one that even a witch could just laugh off. But the witch laughed with pleasure. Is she going to... Wait. Don't say Ronove. Don't. Okay, new ones. She's going to make new ones. As she said that, she looked down at Belphegor's remains, which had already finished turning into a pile of gold dust with disgust. Then the witch obediently raised her hands, but instead of raising her hands because the gun was being pointed at her, it looked more like she was a conductor facing an orchestra, waving her conductor's baton.
あんな安っぽい家具じゃなくてもっともっと強力な
Oh.
残酷な
Who are we
妙
getting?
な真似はやめて引き金を引くわ。
In response to the witch's call, the hall was once again buried with the color of gold. As the brilliantly radiant gold butterflies danced, it felt as though they were being sucked into an ocean of gold leaf. Ronabe was shocked at the upsurge in magical power. After all, it far surpassed that of his former master. As their eyes were dazzled with Misty's golden flash, a gunshot could be heard. Either Rudolph or Kyrie had fired a round. Then when the golden flash subsided, at the very least the witch was standing there, looking cool and composed. The bullet? Kyrie must have fired it into her. But the witch had not been hit anywhere on her body. There it is. The bullet had been fastened in mid-air right in front of the witch's chest. Oh god! I saw Ronobe appear and I almost thought he got shot. Ah, thank fuck. In an instant, the barrier would require a significant amount of preparation, even for the predecessor had been. Ronobe's face was twisted in shock, and the surprises did not end there. The cloud of gold butterflies had created two humanoid forms. It was the furniture summoning. Oh, we have bunny girls! Look at them! They're cute. The butterflies peeled off and flew away. Beneath them, furniture in the shape of girls showed themselves. Look at him! Look at him! He's like, bunny girls? I mean, okay.
先代様でもおいそれと呼び出せなかったテンドラゴンの記念兵をいともたやすく。
Damn, he's impressed.
シエスタ410ここにシエスタ45ここに私にふさわしい家具なんでしょうね、あんたたちは。絵本の朗読から同伴デートに隕石撃墜まで幅広くお答えしますよ。にひひお答えしないと竜王様に怒られます。何卒ご命令を、大ベアトリーチェ卿。
Great Lady Beatrice.
逃げましょう。こいつらはダメだわ。
Kyrie definitely heard warning sirens going off in her head, thanks to the same feeling that had alerted her to the ambush by the Seven Sisters of Purgatory. Without hesitation, they escaped. As the witch elegantly watched them leave, she commanded her new furniture.
命令よ。逃げた二人を殺して。そして死体をここへ持ち帰りなさい。そしたら生き返らせて何度も遊ぶのよ。
The witch's expression twisted into an evil smile. Even though she feared that expression, Lucifer appeared and spoke.
恐れながら先代様よりそのような残酷行為は慎むようにと。
When the witch stared at her with those terrifying eyes, Lucifer was struck dumb. She was frustrated. It was so boring not being able to let her own power and cruelty run wild. This annoying furniture of the predecessor kept telling her to show her strength, bringing her irritation to a peak.
傲慢のルシファーちゃんじゃない。お久しぶりに元気？また今度一緒に遊びましょうね。
Oh my god.
410死後はダメです。怒られます。大ベアトリーチェ卿のご命令を迅速に遂行を。にひお仕事の時間だに。
I like that she says
410了解。追撃狙撃戦準備。地形データ収集、射撃用データ収集。410へデータリンク。410データ受領。
They're full technological.
地形誤差修正。射撃曲線形成。制御点補正完了。
Yes, the noise.
45へデータリンク。45データ受領。危険区域確認。あ、そこはダメです。後ろ邪魔だよルシファーちゃん。バックファイアで焼けるよ。
Oh boy. Thanks to their paired measurement, the Siester sisters were able to instantly calculate the terrain throughout the mansion and the coordinates of their targets, as well as firing curves to reach them. That's right, their shots could be guided to follow a curved line. None could escape. The precision guidance used by the Seven Sisters of Purgatory was nothing more than a cheap knockoff of the ability those two held.
45射撃準備完了。弾手選定装填。
As the two of them faced each other, it was as though they were both pulling back a bowstring together. Oh! A dazzling gold arrow was ready there.
410射撃。
After giving that announcement, they released a single bow to arrow together. As the path taken by the gold sparkling snake of light through a curve, it followed the direction that Rudolph and Kyrie had escaped to in a rapid pursuit. It turned through the corridors, crawled over the floor, chasing them as it drew a beautiful curve. No one could block the guided shots of the Siester sisters. No one could escape from them, and their strength could pierce all physical and magical defenses. It was quite a merciless guided weapon of certain death. However, among the mythical class soldiers, it was a weapon used to pretty much everyone. It was a very commonplace for them and very extraordinary for those of the everyday world. When he noticed something rapidly chasing them and turned around, the exact position of Rudolph's heart was pierced by the gold snake. It all happened in an instant. Oh no. After the gold snake pierced Rudolph, it swooped down to the floor, drawing a beautiful spiral coiled itself around Kyrie's legs and crawled up to her chest. They killed both of them! Oh no! And just like Rudolph, it pierced the exact location of her heart. And all that happened in an instant. It pierced Rudolph, then Kyrie. So they died, dropped to their knees, and fell over at almost the exact same time. Oh boy.
バカバカしいくらいにあっさりね。私ではこういう家具が向いてるわ。先代様の中古家具とは大違い。
I get the feeling this is going to bite her back in the ass though, because if she kills now with the new furniture, could this mean that she didn't actually properly finish the epitaph? That's what I'm predicting.
思いつく限りの残虐な殺し方を試してやるの。魔女がこんなにも楽しいなんて、命を奪うことがこんなにも楽しいなんて。
From the time humans are born, the most shunned action they can take is the murder of another human. It's only natural that humans can understand how pleasurable it can be to break its taboo. But she was no longer a human, she was a witch. And there were some pleasures that only witches could understand. By now she had to taste those pleasures and was totally immersed in them. After learning that the contents of the forbidden pot were honey, she could no longer live without them. And no, maybe the contents were honey because they were forbidden. Anyway, by killing humans gruesomely and doing it over and over, she could feel the drug-like pleasure even now. As the witch rolled over laughing, the gold snake that had just been shot returned as though being reeled in. At the tips, 2 people were pinned and dragged along. And now it's time for Eva to kill people over and over. The witch's order had been fulfilled. Rudolph and Kyrie had been killed instantly, their corpse had been carried back.
シエスタ45、410、命令遂行を完了しました。大ベアトリーチェ教の次の命令を待ちます。どうかご命令を。赤ん坊のおもりからネトゲのお相手、スペースシャトル撃墜まで何でもお答えしますよ。
They're so playful.
こいつらは第4の番と第5の番の生贄らしいの。だから最後には役立たずの7姉妹。
Okay, so she's not going to technically break the rules, I guess.
もう5姉妹か。こいつらを額と胸に刺してえぐらなくちゃならない。でもそれを最後にすればいいんであって、それまでを私がどう遊ぼうと勝手よね。
待て待て待て待て。
Uh-oh.
そなたはわらわの言っていたことをもう忘れたのか。
Beatrice, is this please?
おや、これは先代様。何か文句でも終わりですか？
Yes, she does. a lot.
あるに決まっておろうが、そなたはやりたい放題ではないか。なぜにわらわの言いつけが聞けぬのか。
やりたい放題で何の問題があるのですか？それに私は儀式のルールを逸脱しようなんて気持ちはこれっぽっちもありません。ちゃんとこの二人の死体を後できれいにして額と胸に杭を打ち込んでおきますから。
She's using loopholes like hell.
そういう問題ではないという。あまりに品がなかったり残酷だったりするとだな。その気を悪くする者もおるかもしれぬし。
She's concerned about Beato, huh?
先代様がどこかで戦っているとかいうゲームの相手ですか？
Wait, she's aware of that?
ロノベに聞きました。
Oh, Ronove told her. Okay.
しゃべり
Ronove is just... Ronove is such a snitch. She's telling everything.
め。まあ、
I adore
正直
him.
に言うとそういうわけだ。
He's perfect.
ちょっと目に余ると、その講義を受けてな。
先代様にわざわざ伝言などさせず、直接講義にいらっしゃればいいのに。臆病な方です。
こことは、その、異なる世界の住人だからの、わらわを返さねばならぬのだ。まあ、とにかくだな。
ということは、その方は私に何か干渉したくてもできない。そして私も干渉したくてもできない。
She's basically like, yes, but I'm going to take the repercussions for it, so please
それく
stop!
らいに遠い世界の無縁な方との認識でよろしいですか？
うん。例えるなら、とても近い2本の平行線の世界とでも言おうか。とても身近な世界なのだが、平行線ゆえに2本の線が交わることは決してない。そんな世界と、とりあえずは認識してくれればよい。
So basically the world where they're playing chess is a higher line where they like observe,
交わらない
is what she's saying.
ということは、私とは関係ない世界のことということです。
Oh man.
もしその方の代弁で私に自重しろとおっしゃられてるのでしたら、その方に交互伝言をお願いします。
あやつにか？なんと伝える？
余計なお世話だよ、消えろよババア。へそでもかんで死んじゃえば。
Damn.
失礼しました。先代のお友達でしょうから、多分女性だろうと想像しただけです。
I feel like that was a very veiled insult at Beatrice.
ババアと言っても、決して先代様のことではありませんから、どうかご容赦ください。
You are absolutely talking about Beato. How dare you? When she spoke, the witch was looking straight into Beato's eyes. Anyone present would be able to tell what she meant by it.
先代様、とても不思議に思うことがあります。どうして先代様はその別世界の方とゲームをして魔女だと認めてもらわなければならないのですか？
それはだな、すべての人間に魔女の存在を認めさせることが完全なる支配につながるからである。一人頑固者がおってな。どうあってもわらわを魔女とは認めんのだ。
どうしてその人間の認可が必要なのですか？
Because it's how it
魔女が
works.
魔女であり魔法を振るうことにどうして人間に認められる必要があるのですか？
だからな、前にも話した通り、魔法というのは。
私は魔女です。別に誰の認可がなくとも魔法が使えますが、何か？
この世界ではな。しかしだな、それをあやつが認めない以上は、そのなんと説明すればよいのか。
説明いりません。だって決して交わることのない別世界の話じゃありませんか。それはつまりない世界も同じということです。
She's like, fuck whoever that is. Let me go
別
ape
世
shit.
界でゲームで戦っていると先代様が妄想を語っていることと何にも変わりません。重ねて言います。私と関係ない話です。そして 私はもう魔女です。
I want to do whatever I want, I see.
どうやらその何者かに認めてもらえないと魔女になれないようですが、私は違います。誰に認められずとももう立派な魔女です。先代ということであなたに形式的な敬意は捧げますが、それは私の行為であって義務ではありません。
Oh man, she's going out, getting out of control,
あなたに助言な
huh?
ど求めていないし、これからどうすればいいか、どう遊べばいいかはっきり。だから13人殺しの儀式まではあなたへの最後の敬意だと割り切って行います。
And then I'll be unchained.
しかしそのやり方やその後のことについてはあなたに口出しされる言われは全くありません。そういうことで一つよろしくお願いします。
Ah, crap. Sorry. At a glance, those words seemed obedient, but they contained within them a clear parting of ways. She was no longer under Beato's care in any way. That's why she was clearly saying nothing more than don't get in my way of fun. Beato understood that and was dejected, realizing that no matter how she explained it, she wouldn't be able to make the new witch understand.
そうか。ならばわらわはもう知らぬぞ。魔法は敬いの気持ちなくして存在できぬことを身をもって知るがいい。
Oh man.
あなたがこれまでに縦横無尽に暴れてきたそれが。
After hearing that, Beato could not respond, because she remembered hearing exactly the same thing from her teacher.
シエスタの姉妹、先代がお帰りよ。お見送りを。にひひひひ。先代様、どうぞこの場はお引き取りを。でないと私たちが叱られます。
I almost have the feeling Beato is going to bite back hard. Throughout her body, Beato felt something unseeable from the chest of her sister, which could only be described as an oppressive sensation. Most likely, they were initiating firing calculations. It was an action much like taking out a gun and cocking it. Even Beato could not escape from the chest of her sister's attacks without any preparation. In the past, she had placed her greatest trust in them, so she knew how terrifying they were down to her very soul.
先代様、お引き取りを。これ以上、ベアトリーチェ様のご機嫌を損ねられるのは。
Damn, even he's really nervous. Save him! Free him! I'll take him! I will put him in not stressful situations.
そなたがどのような顛末をたどるか、ゆっくり鑑賞させてもらおうぞ。
It was almost infinitely close to a parting shot. So after Beato vanished, the witch and her furniture doubled over laughing.
まあ、わかる。無限の力は楽しい。有限の極みである命を自在にもてあそぶ快楽は、味わったことのない者にはその快楽に取りつかれる気持ち、わかろうと思うね。
さぞや楽しかったでしょうね。かつてのあなたのはしゃぎぶりを見る限り。
あれがかつて何度も諭そうとしたお師匠様と、それに耳を貸さぬわらわの姿だというのか。
Well, I guess it runs in the Beato witch line.
なぜあの子の行為を咎める気になったのですか?
Because Beato hates me, I don't like that.
あなたにはあの子と大きな違いが一つあります。あの子はすでに魔女かもしれない。
But?
もちろんあなたも魔女です。ゲーム版の上の世界では。しかしゲーム版の外の世界で魔女だと認められるには、ゲームの対戦者であるバトラ君に認めてもらわなくてはならない。あなたはそれを理解してゲームを始めたはずです。
Okay.
魔女である証拠を暴風のように見せつけ、わらわを拒否する気持ちを吹き飛ばし、屈服させればわらわを魔女と認めると思った。
But he hasn't. Now he's
前
pissed.
回うまくいきかけたので、もう一息だと思ったのだ。
実際は逆です。バトラ君はあなたの残忍さに呆れ果てていました。 そしてゲームの対戦者として登壇したのはあなたを対等な対戦相手だと認めたからではない。
He stepped up because he wanted revenge and
残忍
justice.
な魔女の存在を一切認めないという強い敵意に基づいてです。愚かなあなたはバトラ君が対戦者の自覚を持ってくれたことを自分を魔女だと認めさせる第一歩のようにでも実際は全くの逆。バトラ君はあなたを魔女だと絶対に認めないためにあなたのゲームに挑んだのです。
Now what?
浅はかな北風がいくら吹きつけようと旅人はマントをより深く着込む。あなたは大きな間違いを最初から犯しているのです。
Welp, you gotta change strategies now.
このゲームはバトラ君を屈服させる拷問などではない。あなたがバトラ君に認めてもらうために努力する試練なのです。
うすうすはよ気づいてたさ。
I have to go to the bathroom yet again. Sorry about that. I drank so much tea. Ugh, I need to stop drinking teas during streams. Whenever I drink a cup of tea, it immediately passes through my system in light
辛いゲ
speed.
ームでした。しかしもう気づいたようですね。今回はあなたにとって辛いゲームです。
わらわはこれからどうすればいい？
あなたが自分で考えるのです。幸いにもあなたはもうゲーム版の駒を降りて新しき魔女に委ねました。
What
じ
now?
っくりと自らについて思案する時間があるでしょう。
バトラはもう火の塊じゃねえかよ。魔女は認めない。そしてわらわも認めない。それでどうやってバトラに認めてもらうんだよ。北風でダメなら今からのこのこ太陽で照らせっていうのか？
I guess.
このわらわが今さら。
Oh, she's so
今は
sad.
10月、ハロウィンの季節ですね。太陽が死に再び蘇る再生の月です。
Are you going to
蘇
become
ったばか
actually
りの
nicer?
弱々
Let's
しい
see.
太陽は冬の木枯らしに遠く及ばないでしょう。しかしじっくりと成長しやがては春の訪れを告げることができる。その時旅人はマントを畳むこともあるかもしれない。
わらわ間違ってる。
Yes, I guess. I guess you were mistaken. Now let's see what you'll do from here. I guess I'll read a little bit more before I close for today. Actually, I'm wondering if I should like end the stream here because this does look like a good spot to stop for tonight, but I'm also unsure if this was a little bit short. But it's been like 3 hours and 15 minutes. Almost done with the chapter, I think. Well, okay, in that case, if the chapter is almost over, then I think I'll leave the rest for next time. Because I'd hate to rush it. Then let's see, let me save. Although, you know what, I'll read a little, like 20 minutes more, and then I'll see where this is going, and then I'll stop when it hits like 3 hours and a half or something. The beautiful hall of the Ushiromiya mansion was covered with a golden sparkle like gold leaf, and stained deep red with thick spurts of blood. The number of deaths given to Rudolph and Kie had long surpassed anything you could count on both your fingers and your toes. Jesus. The witch was breathing so hard her shoulders shook, but it wasn't because she was tired. She just couldn't hide her ragged breath caused by her still uncontainable excitement.
人の生き死にを自由にすることのなんと楽しいことか。無限の魔女の力の前には私が思い描く無限の全てが実現するわ。どんなにぐちゃぐちゃにすりつぶしてやったって私は指を一つ鳴らすだけで元通りにして蘇らせることができる。そして最後に申し訳程度に碑文に沿った死体に戻せばいいんだからね。
This one is feral.
ねえあんたたち、ぬいぐるみのお腹を裂いたことってある？
ないです。45は？いえ、やったことありません。申し訳ありません。
当然よ。普通ないわ。ましてやお気に入りのぬいぐるみだったらなおさらよね。でもずっと思ってた。こんなにも大好きでいつか覗いてみたいってずっと思ってたわ。
If you cut it and looked inside, your curiosity might be quelled, but the stuffed animal will be broken. So even though you want to see, you can't. You understand that feeling, right?
無限の魔女の力はまさにそれを叶えてくれる力なの。今の私は好きなだけぬいぐるみを裂くことができる。なのに魔法一つでそれを元通りに蘇らせることができるわ。それはつまりこの世のあらゆる制約を打ち破ったということ。今の私には躊躇することも思いとどまることも何もないの。
She's going to go... She's like, I am now unchained.
誰にもわからないでしょうね。無限の魔女の私以外誰にもわからない。
As the witch let out a mad war cry, she revived Rudolph and Kie again, and faster than he could realize it, she killed them right away. And she made it known that something other than cotton was stuffed inside those two. And she's still going.
He's
here!
あんたいたの。
In that gruesome hall, Hideyoshi appeared with his gun ready. The witch had sealed the mansion with a barrier, so Hideyoshi had nowhere to run. He probably picked up Rudolph or Kie's gun and came back. The gun, which should have been something to be feared, was apparently no longer an object she took seriously now that she was overflowing with magic power. Her bold expression didn't flinch in the slightest.
なんでローザさんやマリアちゃんやルドルフ君やキリエさんまで殺さにゃならんのや。
Oh boy.
はあ、私は後ろ宮家の当主にして六軒島の魔女よ。この島では何を起こそうと全ては自由自在。今だけの一瞬を切り取ってその生き死にをどうなど私には無意味なこと。
お父さんの黄金を見つけてどんだけ高く積まれた黄金やったやろな。
Yeah,
わしには想像もつかん。お前の正気を失わせるほどのものだったんやろ。だがな、そんなにもたくさんの黄金やったならなして気前よく分けっこしたのって思わんかったんや。
誤解してるわ。あれは全て黄金の魔女のものよ。私以外の誰にも触れる資格はない。
お前は何や。昔聞かせてくれた少女時代の魔女だったエヴァだとでも言うんか。
そうよ。あなたの妻の後宮エヴァの胸の中にずっと住んでいた。そして魔女なの。エヴァは私を忘れることによって大人になったわ。だから魔法が使えない。
誰だって子供の頃には 無邪気だけれど残酷な妄想に頭を膨らませることはある。
I almost have the feeling this will end with Hideyoshi dying, and I'm not looking forward.
小さい頃はアリを踏んで回ったりトンボの羽をむしったりして遊んだことがあるわ。しかし命の大切さを学んでそんな残酷な幼年時代から卒業するんや。今のお前はまさに幼年時代そのものやで。エヴァが卒業したはずの人格なんや。それはエヴァやない、別の人間や。
そうよ、私後ろ宮エヴァじゃない。
Yeah, she is like,
黄
no.
金の魔女ベアトリーチェだもの。楽しいわよ。何の制約もしがらみもなく生き死にを自由にできるこの閲楽は本当に素敵。割った金魚鉢を謝らなくていい。そして好きなだけぬいぐるみを裂いていい。私は
Oh! There was a crisp sound. It was the sound of Hideyoshi slapping the witch's face. Oh no! Looking at the hall stained deep with fresh blood, he should have been able to imagine how terrible the witch was. But without fear, without even hesitating, Hideyoshi had walked determinedly up to her and hit her on the cheek. Welp? Again! Oh man! Oh man, he is laying it to her. Oh, did he meet Eva when she was like this? Uh...
命の大切さとか儚さとかそういうのが分かる女やったのだ。わしが思い出させたる。何が魔女や、アホ抜かせ。お前はわしの女房の後ろ宮エヴァや。冷蔵庫の残り物でちょいちょいと気の利いたつまみを作れる台所の魔女が先の山や。
That is actually the best magical power.
目を覚まさんかい、このアホんだらや。
Oh, poor Hideyoshi.
だから後ろ宮エヴァじゃないって言ってるでしょうか。
アホ抜かせ、この。
Oh, he sounds sad. As tears dripped down his face, Hideyoshi kept hitting the witch's head. He wasn't even pointing the gun at her anymore. Therefore, the sound of gunfire couldn't have come from the gun Hideyoshi was holding. Did he die? The gun which had fallen in the corner near Rudolph's corpse was floating in the air, and smoke lingered near the barrel. And the bullet? A red stain was slowly spreading across the chest section of Hideyoshi's bit. I'm upset. Even though his back was facing the barrel of the gun, the bullet had driven through Hideyoshi's chest. Ah.
だから私はエヴァじゃないと言ってるのに、バカでうざい男ね。あんたしつこいから第6の番の生贄に変更してあげるわ。
Oh, Eva is not going to take that
どこかの
kindly.
ベッドの下に隠れて震えてでもいたなら見逃してやるつもりだったのに、わざわざ戻ってきて。本当にバカな男だわ。
No, he's a man who loves his wife. Oh, I'm so upset. Man, there was a dull sound as Hideyoshi fell to the floor. Even though death would have allowed him to escape from that pain, he resisted until the last second. And staring straight in the witch's eyes, he passed away. Because he had died without closing his eyes, the witch didn't realize that he was dead for a short while, and remained pinned by that gaze.
こいつも新しいおもちゃにして遊びますにひ。
No! Stop! Don't! At those words, the witch finally realized that Hideyoshi was dead.
あ、そうね。どうしようかしら。
She looks a bit dejected. The Cheester sisters waited for her instructions. On the inside, they imagined the sorts of even more brutal orders a master might give. But the expression that rose to the witch's face looked as though she'd gotten over her excitement. She looked down at Hideyoshi's face, which still had tears dripping down it.
この男のせいです。
Slap indeed.
もうやめた。ロノウェイいる？
What are you doing? What's Ronobe going to do?
はい、ここに。
後片付けをお願い。先代様もうるさいしね。あのババアが納得する程度に綺麗にしておいてちょうだい。一応先代様への義理で儀式のルールには従うわ。この3人の死体を第4の番から第6の番ってことでお願いね。ルシファー、出番よ。
傲慢のルシファー、ここに。
その3人の死体ほじくってえぐっといて。
死体をですか？
そうよ。何か不満？
Oh, I'm starting to think she killed them and gouging them afterwards is not going to count.
Yeah.
The 7 sisters of purgatory had their own sort of pride. It was the pride of a hunter, the pride of gouging prey that they had brought down themselves. However, being told to gouge a corpse that someone else had brought down ran contrary to that sentiment. Of course, the witch didn't mean it that way, but for the 7 sisters it was horribly humiliating. However, they had already screwed this up, with 2 of the sisters defeated, so they had no right to question her. Only Ronove appreciated this, and he rested his hand on her shoulder in understanding.
ベアトリーチェ様のご命令ですよ。ルシファーは3人を選び、儀式の作法に従い処理をするように。
He looks tired.
あと、できましたら私のお片付けにも手を貸してください。
Grab a mop. You grab the what's it called? Aspirador.
かしこまりました。
You grab the window cleaners. And you grab the you grab the bucket. The witch looked down upon Hideyoshi's corpse as though implying that the now delicate atmosphere was all Hideyoshi's fault.
バカな男ね。死なずに済んだのに。
Oh man.
あなた。
Oh no.
あなたどこ？いるわよね。
Oh man, Eva is going to fuck EVATrice up, isn't she, for this? The crash of Thunderbolt woke Eva from her nightmare. If Hideyoshi had been gripping her hand at that time, her fearful heart would have probably been instantly healed. However, Hideyoshi had supposedly sworn that he wouldn't leave even for a moment, was nowhere to be seen in the room.
あなた返事をして。あなた。
Oh man, Eva is not okay. She's ultra not okay. Okay, now this is a spot for me to stop in. Now I finished the 6th Twilight. Alright then. Alright then. I'm glad I did continue reading after all, because now this is a spot in which I'll stop. Alright. Forever indeed. Alright. System. Let me see how many people are dead. So, Hideyoshi died, Kyrie and Rudolph, and now all we have left is Eva, Kraus, Nazi, Jessica, George, and Battler. So like, this little circle here. Oh, and Nanjo, of course. I think I'll manage to finish the rest next time. So we'll stop here. All right. No, not this. System title. Okay, this was enough. This part, I started off and I was afraid that I wouldn't start getting super excited or anything, but the part with Kyrie and Rudolph was extremely good. Like, probably one of my favorite scenes in this chapter. And I'm also really glad to see more of Kyrie's character. Really makes me glad. And poor Battler, he's probably going to find out that his stepmom doesn't even like him. Welp. Alright. Let me switch over and I'll see if we can raid anybody. And I also need to remove my knife. There we go. Sorry. Now it doesn't look as strange. Let me see. Who all can we raid tonight? Oh, let's raid Eddie. He's streaming some Pokemon right now. I think it's a Nuzlocke challenge or something, or like exercise challenge, so let's raid him. And I'll be seeing you next Thursday. No, sorry, next Tuesday, in which I'll be doing, what's it called? I'll be doing an art stream. And then next Thursday, there will be more Umineko, and I'll finish the chapter. Alright, now let's start the raid. Alright, see ya, everybody. Bye-bye.